Hello everyone, welcome to the NA Crucible Rivals Cup number 2. It's NA, as I said just now. Today I have Owning Toaster with me. How you doing, buddy? You alright?
I'm doing great. I'm looking forward to some high-tier Crucible action, Jebro.
Good stuff. Now, if the reason we're a little bit late into this game is because there's a little bit of an issue in terms of delays and whatnot. So we had to find 2 streams that were kind of the same.
They're relatively the same. I'm looking. There's going to be a fight right now in River, and I can see both sides of it. In terms of difference between team, we have almost mirror matchups. The only difference is one team has chosen to have a summer, which is going to be Seifer's team, Arrow Games' team, and then it looks like the Cam Jam with Goonie, right? They've got themselves a summer. So we're going to see how that difference plays out in the long term of the match.
Okay.
Looks like never mind. They've got the Slam. They've got Seifer is going to be on Summer. Got a good experience there, and they've got the Cezanne on Goonie's team rather.
Yeah. So Goon Squad. So as you guys are looking at the stream, viewer-wise, we basically have it will always be the bigger screen is always going to be blue, and when it switches, those names will switch over, so you guys will know who is currently. Whatever team. So it's always the bigger screen. Blue Goon Squad right now. Blue is always Goon Squad, just so you know. Red is always Slam Fam in this series so far. Again.
Fantastic. There we go. That'll help.
Yes.
Okay, so see, Pen Goonie being the channel, right?
Yes.
Mixes me up because that's not the Goon Squad, everybody.
Yes,
JT,
exactly.
Gentle Giant, Seifer, and Arrow Games themselves filling out the Goon Squad.
It's okay. I'm still learning as well. It's okay.
Oh,
We're
no, if you'd
learning
like
all
me
the
to
things.
intro the team rosters because I know all these guys. I'd love to have the opportunity.
Well, the funny thing is we're actually in this big fight right now. It looks like we're going to see a first pickup kill. Good job, Arrow Games gets the kill onto the enemy Cezanne over. Wow, this is an early fight actually, dude. To be fair, we're actually seeing I think that's the Earl just trying to get the heal up as well. Mendoza, who is Arrow on our view right now, as well as the Drakal just coming back for a regroup. Looks like they're trying to pick out the Drakal maybe, although he's had to back out. Dude, there's a Drakal on each team. I don't think we actually had that last week.
Oh yeah, no, full, almost full mirrored squads here. 3 and 3. We got the Earl, Drakal, and Mendoza on on each team. The only difference being Seifer on this summer here, and Penguni on this Cezanne. I think a stronger dive comp for Goon Squad, if we're being honest. Or sorry, yeah, for Goon Squad.
You saw how much
it really
XP.
will pay dividends.
That was like 700 XP for that kill. That was 699. So, you know, about 700 XP at the moment. It's between 600 and 800 XP for, Essence, sorry, I should probably say, which is experience. Obviously, upgrade to get your upgrades quicker to get those levels up. They are currently still on level 2 Slam Fam at the moment as well.
About 2.5 if we're to agree that these are relatively in sync in terms of game time. 3.5 on the Goon Squad right now. It's going to have a huge impact on fights because level 3 is definitely a power spike because everybody's going to get their ability differences. I was only able to see what one player's taken in terms of Intimidate You. He's gone 3-1-2-1-2 for Earl. Looks like we've got, in the interaction shields, or not interaction shields rather, but the Mendoza shields are both up for both players, and that's going to in my opinion, really impact the matchup depending on who uses their shield to better advantage.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just literally, like you said, the power spike, the power advantage, and just having that extra upgrade is just massive. And that's probably why they're engaging these fights so much, right? They're fully aware that they're in that position that, you know, they can be taken out again, you know, and that's their farm. Their farm right now is getting kills on the map, to be honest. There isn't much events. There's just good lord, I'm trying to remember which one that is, icon-wise.
That is the Essence Siphon.
It's the Siphon, isn't it? Okay.
Yeah, similar to the football, you're going to hold on to it. It's going to give you, it used to be, I want to say 40 Essence a second or a tick. I think it's a little bit longer than a full second, but as soon as you take damage, it's going to drop off. So a prudent team is going to be trying to knock that off a player if they can, and or just control objectives so it doesn't matter in the long run of things. But this would be a great pickup for Slam Fam, who has a lot of XP to catch up on. Yeah, it looks like Mendoza's taking some damage from Hive Wasp, which is always difficult to deal with because it's going to be not the best for your health situation. You got that damage over time, which will, of course, not let his shields get back up.
Indeed, and there's not many green. Well, there's some green plants around here. So obviously, if you're new to Crucible and you're watching the stream as well, we're going to try and give you new player information as much as we can. So that little red flashing part of Mendoza's bar that Toaster was talking about is the dot, which is you can remove it by hitting one of those green plants. For example, you hit that, you'll remove the dot. Your health will stay at that top level of where the kind of red flashing bar was. And also, looks like they are the mobility of these guys. These guys are traveling. I mean, it might just be that I'm watching Mendoza, to be fair. But they're...
Well, no, Drakal spamming his double jump and his shift along with Earl, allowing for his max movement of shift. If he chains it into his level 3 blowback vents, his E, it's actually amazing amount of mobility. It can keep up with Drakal. And of course, Sazan, that's rather on the other team, has got a lot of movement. And Summer is actually split from the team right now. So this Sazan v Drakal in the river is probably not going to be Sazan's best interest to be fully a part of.
No, at least she's got support now from the Earl, so it's not too bad. A little bit of a fight. Oh, actually, he could take the Drakal down here if they're not careful. He does try to back out. There's that cloaking, that stealth plant as well. And actually, the fight, now they've hit level 3, it's a little bit fairer because 4 is a lesser... Oh, no, I was going to... Whoops. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that, should I? Because their Drakal just goes down. So maybe whether or not they actually try and get out of this fight, I don't know if that's going to be possible. They try and chase the Earl, and that's Earl down as well. Oh, maybe they went too far in on that Drakal, dude. I'm not too sure.
JT's team is clearly getting well ahead right now. The Goon Squad, they've got great healing right now. Gentle Giant still taking that med kit. 2 full teams down right now, and a big issue for the start of that fight was Sazan did not have a med kit. She went down to about 400 health, and she gets 20 health per weapon switch. But you can't just be cycling weapon switches for the pure sake of healing. You also want to do it for best combat effectiveness. So she found herself on the shotgun and the rifle a bunch of times, which takes a lot longer if you're not triple switching all the way between the knife. She missed the initial knife, which really started the fight off poorly for them. Can't get that massive dot on Earl, which gets him out of the fight early and makes him more and more concerned about his healing.
Yeah, that's right. And that's another important thing, like having those healing. Well, they've oh good lord, Goon Squad have actually got the Cypher now as well, so they're gonna be piling through. They're gonna get this first hive pretty easily, and first hive doesn't necessarily matter too much. Like if the other team can actually catch up in their farm now, that would have, hopefully they've used that time effectively, although they're still coming back into the map. And just they've got the harvesters.
If streams are to be believed, we're gonna see level 5 quite soon for the Goon Squad, and Slam Fam are just now starting to get that level 3 experience bar filled, and it's not even halfway. So we could see a full power spike level 3 versus level 5 in the next fight, which is going to heavily favor the Goon Squad right now. It's going to be a bit difficult. Also, long term, I'm seeing an issue here for the Earl Intimidate You on the Slam Fam, simply because he has not taken level 5 Starbell energy drink, which just removes all negative effects and heals for more than it usually does if you take that perk, and he has instead taken perk 2. So he's hoping for a lot more red line fire damage output, but the problem with that is he cannot end any kind of dot that might be applied to him. Not really anybody with some dot to concern about besides Summer's Burn and whatever Drakal has chosen to put out, but they are getting picked apart yet again.
Yeah, no, that's right. I mean, look at Arrow. Arrow is on every single target. He's using those grenades so well. Here we go. Drakal just finishes off that player, and that is 3 kills at the very least. And this is probably game right now. I've got 2 hives. They are well up on the XP. You could probably write this one off a little bit right now. Coming back in, this is going to be tough. Really, like, I think it's even worth just thinking about the next game for these guys. Obviously try and learn as much as possible. Obviously don't surrender, but like don't let that happen. Pick out the weaknesses on this team if there are any. I mean, what they need to be careful about is diving in on these fights. I feel like the blue team, Goon Squad, Drakal is almost baiting them to a degree, where he's pulling them into these fights that he knows he's got the backup for, and he can get out. Actually, might see.
It looks like we've got Sazan getting caught out close to Springs right now, which is unfortunate because it just puts him in a perma 3v4 for whatever his objective is up next. absolutely will be able to spawn in close enough for the hive. It looks like they're going to try and 2-on-1 the Drakal. They're always keeping favorable numbers right here. Drakal and Drakal already ahead based on level and damage. And then you just got Arrow helping out, adding pain to the mixture, dude. Insult to injury right now as Mendoza. Just the aim on point, which is super important for being an effective damage output source for your team on Mendoza.
Just like... I feel like as well, so early. I mean, I know we missed the initial kind of farming and walking around and getting into the map, and it was about level 2, 3-ish when they started to get some kills. I mean, now at the moment, it just feels like they're just at
It's
loss.
a bit of a farm fest.
It's just them playing the game now. Well, not playing the game, essentially. It's them just trying to get something out of nothing. They've still managed to like keep most of the harvesters intact. I think it's literally just making sure they don't get into these fights. And I think, this Goon Squad team is just very aggressive. Like they're just literally marching around the map and they're getting their kills. When they're spotting a player, they are teaming up and they are getting that man down. And they're grabbing themselves, early, level 3. You've got yourself 700 XP. That's so much. And now they're level 6 and versus 3. I mean, they've got this farmed out. I'm not sure if we saw this quick a game actually last week, to be honest.
Very strong showing from the Goon Squad. What I like is not only is their combative micro really on point, but right now they're demonstrating how the macro can be played to max efficiency right now. Mendo drops the bunker, right? Whether or not you take the turret, regardless, the bunker is going to drop with a medkit inside it. And we can see that he's at full medkits and he's making sure his team is at full medkits as well. And also, if his team's at full medkits and he sees one on the map, he's burning it. You can pick up a medkit even if you're at full and it takes it off the map. So they're denying the other team the kind of resources that they might need to help them get back in fights.
Which, yeah, we saw a little bit actually. I believe we saw Net doing that a little bit last week for NA, but yeah, that's going to be the first game. So that's the first game over to Goon Squad. Yeah, there's a lot of work to be done. There's not a single kill for this red team, and that doesn't mean they can't. This is the first game. Okay, this is the first game. Maybe you just got to, just run away with them first game. Just trying to get used to their opponents, and now we can maybe see what they can bring in for the second one. It's best of 3, so we got, this could be it for them in this one, unfortunately. But it's still got a
stomp, but there's some stuff to break down here. Something to say good about the Slam Fam is that they are very consistent with their shared damage. 2 different 4.5Ks and 2 different around 2.5K damages. It does mean that Cezanne's doing more damage than their Summer, which are the 2 different odd champions out, or hunters out rather, in terms of not a mirror matchup for these rosters. But Seaver wasn't really required to put out the damage right now. 6 kills, 5 kills, 5 kills on JT, Arrow, and Gentle, respectively. I mean, it's just great work by them to get both damage amps. I think that's a huge differentiator. Yes. There will pretty much always be one pivotal amplifier that really, really will help decide the mid game into late game. And that's usually a damage amplifier, a regen amplifier, or a health amplifier. So if you're willing to sacrifice a hive, which they didn't even have to do because of how dominant they were this game, you can try and make a play for both. And it does look like they secured both. I think the Slam Fam needs to see these opportunities to turn around by maybe splitting 2 and 2 for both damage amps, or at the very least securing one so that the fight feels a little bit more even.
Yeah, I mean... in all honesty, I think, what you're saying about the amps is right. I think the damage amplifier is 100% the most influential, and getting both of those, which I didn't actually see because, we're not in the game. We're not able to see that. Specifically, it was, probably one of the main reasons definitely one of the main reasons they were able to get so far ahead in terms of levels, as you said, like mid to late game. So hopefully we'll see in this next matchup, maybe we won't even see those damage amps pop up, obviously, because every single time you load into a new game, new events pop up, and we might not even see those damage amps in this next game. And in all honesty, it looks like that would be a big... It would help them at least keep in the game in the first place, because unfortunately they just ran away with it. So what we need to see from the Slam Fam guys, try and keep it together, try and get that early farm consistent if they possibly can, just keep up with their enemies, and make sure actually that they just don't get caught out in different times. Like you said, the Cezanne, making sure they've got those heals, making sure they get their heals off of their Mendoza early. Like whenever they've got that spawn up on him, just get those heals as soon as you possibly can, and you know, maybe
just
we'll
cycle them out. Especially if you're not taking the skill tree that allows you to have the turret within the bunker. It kind of decreases the bunker's combat effectiveness and necessity, if you will, for each fight. You don't need to be throwing that down every fight, and it's on a 60-second cooldown. So as long as you be cranking out those med kits and making sure your team has 3, it's great because it allows a lot of in-fight options for every hunter. If your teammate has 3 med kits, he can pick and choose when he wants to heal. The team can cover him so you can't get damaged out of healing. For those who don't know, every hunter, should they be taking damage, interrupts medkit use unless you're Drakal at level 4, which is a default non-changeable skill tree option for them.
Cool. Don't know. There is still a little bit of a delay difference between these two teams.
A little bit of a delay. We do see the Slam fam a little bit ahead of time here. I got Earl on the Battle Pass skin for Goon Squad, which is definitely a plus 5 points for style. All right, it's not going to affect the actual outcome of the game. I do appreciate it. Not actually my most favorite skin, but it's growing on me. It's looking better and better. This is actually not the Battle Pass skin, now that I think about it. It's the Chef one. It's the next one. We've got the Fry Cook, but this guy's got the fancy poof hat, and he's got the nice little dishwash rag over his shoulder, letting him know that he's not just here to shoot people with Misty, but also maybe serve up some good food. Let's see. I'm going to take a look at Earl's skill tree choices here. I think we'll see if he actually maintains this choice here. I really do think that Starball Energy Drink is kind of important no matter what your enemy team is, not just for the removal of dot, because it removes all negative effects. Well, it's really great against a Tosca, because a fully leveled Tosca hitting you with all 6 shotgun shots can put a lot of dot, typically 600 to 800 in terms of what you're seeing on your health bar is Earl, and that's close to half your health. But if you just hit that Q, hit that Starball Energy Drink at level 5, boom, it's like it never happened. It's super effective against Tosca matchups, which is why I can understand that he didn't take it. But in general, the healing increase, it's just it cleanses negative status effects and heals for 300, which is up from 200. And there's plenty of times where I've survived as Earl, because he's my main, with less than 100 HP, and that could be the difference right there, especially if you transfer your blowback vents, your E, into your shift, right, your full throttle, so, or your afterburner rather, right, and it's a small thing, but these little minor differences can lead to large differences in the performance of teams.
Absolutely. I'm just trying to contact these teams and see about their delays and stuff, because it's all over the place.
I might need to hit refresh, because they're stuck for a while now in the loading screen on Panguni
the game
and
is,
Arrow games.
Yeah, they're just
I can blabber on all you want if you need some additional filler here.
It's all good.
Because Gentle Giant, I'm very much used to seeing on the Earl. We didn't see him on the Earl this time, and Seifer on Summer is interesting as well. I would imagine that Seifer would be focusing really hard on making sure that he's got his damage after his level 3 damage increase, because it allows him to go well over. He does extra damage right after that. I'm trying to find and remember the name of that specific upgrade. But base stats for Summer.
Oh, you mean damage on the wall?
No. Well, yeah. I know Incendiary shot at level 3 and then the increase on it. But I mean the his flamethrowers, once he's over 50% to his.
Oh, that's 2. Yeah, that's level 2.
Yeah.
So when you're over 50% heat, your flames turn to kind of this pinky purpley thing, and you get like 40% increased damage. Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's what it's called, acetylene torch. That's what I was looking for. So I sound like I know what I'm talking about out here. Yeah, flamethrowers inflict 40% more damage when your heat is above 50%. Now that's the mechanic that you would see if we had a Summer point of view here. Every ability that Summer uses does not have cooldowns, but instead has a heat cost. And when you hit max heat, you become something called overheated. Can't use any abilities while it gets reset. And that's really Summer's weak point, and what you want to take advantage of is the enemy team. When she's overheated, you want to pounce on her if possible, but they're doing great to not only not let Summer overheat, but should she overheat, it seems like they're really taking care of their teammates well.
Yeah, the best Summers won't. Well, I mean, I think it's very tough to not overheat in fights, because sometimes you just have to kind of stop. I think the most effective It's weird with Summer because she's kind of like she acts as very much as a support last week for Net, as well as just like so aggressive at times. But like their team composition and the way they act, they all looked after each other very well. And I'm seeing very much the same theme in Goon Squad.
Yeah, we're fully resynced. It's just one did not catch the match. If you will.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So this is what Summer is good for. Using that big wall, which is I keep forgetting blooming name, which really clears, like it's all about zoning them off. Magma spiral, there you go. It's all about zone clearing, making sure they're not able to engage on them when they're trying to heal and stuff. And we really saw actually from Goon Squad how good they were at just coming together, just using these line of sight spots. And actually one specific place where Net used last week, which is over on the east side of the map, near the east side harvester. I can't remember which one that is. Research, yeah. There's a big rock. I'm gonna call it something. It's literally research just after river, where they've almost spawned now. There's a really great spot where that hive kind of pops out. There's this rock where if any team has control over this rock, I'm just seeing them win every single time. Yeah. There's some great places.
The high ground or the one in the little with the ledge that you can heal behind?
It's the little, I think the one you said second. I don't know.
It's informal out here. We know everything.
I'm geniuses. English, you're American. Like, what's the ledge? I mean, I don't know anymore.
Yeah, a ledge. What are the technical specs to a ledge? At what point can we call it a ledge instead of an over outcropping? The experts will be left to it. It looks like Upper Grotto Crater Springs going to be the Slam Fam's territory, and just a very favorable spawn and choice by Goon Squad. In the river. It means they can get central control first and spread to research and wetlands to the south. Last game really showed us how having a 3-2 advantage on the harvesters is not super important when you're winning your fights and you're getting the events taken care of for your team, but it is a great initial level 1. Your teammates after they cap should be just working really hard.
Perspectives right now as well. Look at the actual, here comes the Chakal. He's covering the Mendoza. Like, I swear, every single time you see this Mendoza or another member of their team get in a fight, he's got to use that stealth plant. He does get away. He's got the heart. He's okay. They hit level 2 now after that kill as well. And this was the problem they had in that last game as well, wasn't it? Getting those little kills, losing those kills quite early, which kind of snowballed the game, right?
We did see Cezanne overextend there. I think if he stayed on the ramp, that Earl backup damage could have actually netted them the first kill. And now Cezanne's going right back in. Best Cezanne NA rather, which is different to understand that he's on Mendoza. So the 100 Cezanne getting picked off early, and then we're going to lose Mendo as well. And then that does mean that Camp Slam is going to be caught out and left out to dry as Drakal here. We are seeing just like a big hemorrhage of kills, which is a lot of an early experience bonus. We're already at level 2.5 for the Goon Squad, and the Slam Fam currently at the very top of level 1, gonna hit level 2 soon. So the level 2, every level is gonna have a spike. I think 1, 3, and 5 are very important differentiators depending on the skill tree chosen by each hunter, as well as team synergy and just being ahead. So everyone's at 2 right now, and I think this is a pivotal point because they're either going to get further outpaced by the Goon Squad, or they're going to try and turn this one around. So as much as they lost the initial fight and lost 3 hunters, now is a perfect time to try and engage on something more favorable to try and swing the tide, because right now they're not only behind on experience, but if Arrow and his team work harder enough at this, they're going to be ahead. Pardon me. Harvesters as well.
Water. Get some water.
Well, yeah, I've got some.
Just early. No, exactly. I mean, the big problems. One of the big things, they just need to stop dying. I think they leave this first harvester. First hive. I don't think they go for this first hive. I think Slam Fam, best thing they can do, leave it alone, opposite side of the map almost. Get those harvesters, get all of them, and then go for the farm, because I think that's what they need to do to come back. I don't think they should engage in any fights right now. This is Cezanne again, and they're still in there. And Bart, the Drakal, look, here we go. Look, the Drakal gets out, and the Mendoza is just railing on them. like from afar. And look, there's the Earl. He's right in there. We've got the Summer who's pushed in as well. Drakal's bailed out. They'll lose the Earl again. This is a consistent thing. The Drakal just gets out okay in the end. Actually, no, I think they do lose him.
Yeah, they do get him. But in general, I think they've spent too much to get this kill. But Cezanne out here maybe going to kill the Mendo. No, he potentially gets the med kit off for 30 HP. He's going to get it.
So close. Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, yeah, they did lose him indeed. I think Believers from Dot in the end, but they won. They didn't really trade, unfortunately. It was just, they actually won out, I think, there in the end. Although, did they get...
No, it looks like a 2-2 trade. If Goonie can get off the respawn, I can see it. Yeah, it looks like Drakal and Mendo live. But I just think trading that, it doesn't really change the meta in terms of what's going on. And the Mendo fight is going to be advantageous for...
I missed that kill, so good.
The Goon Squad.
Spot out there, yeah. I missed that Seafarer kill, actually. So, yeah, you're right. They did trade well. So that's not actually too bad for them. So now we're seeing Slam Fame come back into this. So it's a bit annoying.
It's definitely better than losing 0-3 in a fight, but it's not ideal in the sense that it simply pushes the match forward towards the current meta, which is just an advantage for the Goon Squad. So I'd say better than the start, but it's not the big swing they need. But it could be the start to a comeback in this match.
In a way, I mean, they won with a level above them. They traded evenly when they're level 2, and they're up on level 3, almost 4. So I mean, they're actually doing pretty well right now. So in that regard, I suppose, even swapping it the other way. But like I said, just give up this hive, and they're just doing it anyway. But I don't know if that's through any choice of their own.
Yeah. Good teams are going to choose to take advantage of events over hives, especially early if they're behind. An experienced and seasoned team is going to understand that even though it's the exact goal of the match, Heart of the Hives, right, to collect 3 Hive Hearts, the first and even the second, although not to the same extent, is sacrificable in preference for, getting Essence, getting leveled back into this fight. Now we're going to see a bit of an overcommitment here. I'm worried about for the Slam Fam, but they are trying to challenge Goon Squad right now.
Yeah, if you got on you can see there is a little bit of a delay here. Cezanne is trying to take out this Mendoza. I know we've got on the other side. They do get the kill as well. You can put it bottom right-hand side. That is a very, very, very good kill for them indeed. That could be them actually. Obviously the hive is gone, but if they can get some kills here, they can catch up on level, respawning as well. Think about that, the amount of time they're out of the game, the amount of time they have to come back in terms of farm. They can get some kills here. That would be really, really good for them. They did get the one. Just waiting to see where potentially they think about respawning now, and also when they bring up the map.
They grab too, and Drakal's trying to survive here right under a ledge. I would definitely call this part where Drakal is a ledge near Research River right there, and he's hiding right now. I don't know if they're going to find him out, but that's some great experience gain. Right at the tippy top of turning level 4. There we go. Arrow Games' team, the Goon Squad, grabbing themselves level 4, but nibbing at their heels now at 3.5 levels is going to be the Slam Fam. So they are starting to bring it back, and as we talked about, should be willing to sacrifice 1 or 2 hard hives to grab advantage on the events, which can swing a match. The problem is the current events spawning are not that impactful. Interaction shield can be quite impactful depending on how you manage someone having the shield and grabbing the heart. Most teams with proper dive comps, which the Goon Squad definitely have, it will not matter that you have interact shield. They will be going in for the bop, for the melee to get you off of it. But in case somebody's trying to range grab you, especially in a Jonah who can just stack that headshot damage on you while you're trying to cap the heart, if you have an interaction shield, you could maybe make the sacrifice play and grab the heart before they stop you.
I mean, interaction shields are great for everything. If you're fighting around a harvester and you've got the med station there as well, you're going to get a shield off that, even if you just channel it once. So it's pretty damn good. I've had fights personally where that's helped me win a fight, because I've just literally I'm literally fighting around the med station and I'm just like, yep, here's my shield, cool, awesome, and it's just edged me out in that fight. Oh no, the L gets stuck. They all might get caught out here by the Drakal. No, he's gonna be okay. Nice use of the sticky plant there as well from the Mendoza on this Goon Squad team, and again using it up top against the enemy team. Mendoza, really good awareness. Oh, the Cezanne now as well is right on the back of the Mendoza. He has to get rid of that dot. Good job, good sight. He gets the stealth. We see this a lot from this Mendoza. Oh, good lord, and he gets taken down. Good job. They're picking up some kills here, dude.
Yeah, Cam Sham Slam coming in great after the initial Cezanne damage. I'm always worried about their Cezanne going in too deep because they did it a lot last match, but the follow up from the team has been great. So it's not an overextension. That's the big difference here.
The Drakal got taken out as well by the goo plant, apparently. just as a little note, sorry, that's I thought that was a little bit funny there, but obviously he just got the last tick of damage. It was just, when you see it in the top right hand corner, player killed by Crucible or Stomper or something, you're just like, oh no.
Great heads up play by JT to take out Cezanne at the last second there. Make sure that Seifer's damage is not in vain. I think Seifer is not going to survive through that one, so the Slam fam doing good to make sure that Summer does not make it out alive on that one. Actually, she might have survived and gotten down through research. Yeah, Seifer is low health and he does pop a med kit. So I see 2 out of 3 on Mendo, which either means the rest of his team is at equal med kits or maybe even more if he's sacrificing his own med kit inventory to make sure his other teams are tanked up. Earl going to be healing as well here.
Another Mendo kill maybe.
Yeah, big catch out. Hive defeated, so it looks like he was still ticking from a wasp there. Need to keep the team together because I see them get this early 4-3 advantage in terms of hunters, but then they just lost that fight in River, and then they lost position here too. So it's going to go up 2-0. No longer can they sacrifice hearts for other objectives. Metamorphosis is active, which means that the farm, as we call it, or just the stompers and spitters and lurkers, and even the hive wasps and the hive itself are going to be much stronger. They need to be aware of that and not die to these kind of damage sources.
I wouldn't even engage then. I mean, this is the thing. I mean, I don't know if there are any teams or players in chat that are playing at that higher level. Would you even engage a hive like at that time, unless you've got a couple of kills and you can kind of control it? I even engaging or being around the area is going to be extremely tough,
especially solo as Mendo, which is what we feel like we just saw there. We saw Mendo get caught out and it didn't seem like the rest of his team was really compiled around him, which means you're going to take Metamorphosis damage, and that's what killed him from the hive. And now we see Cezanne out here taking damage in the river. Hopefully he can get back to the team. We got the Earl on high ground. The
Drakal's going to go down, unfortunately, for this blue team. Oh, look, here we go. Damage from Earl coming out onto the Mendoza as well. He needs to bail. I think he's dead. He's got his dart. No, one, dead. Oh, look, they come back. Look at Cezanne, dude. Cezanne is coming out in this game. Definitely more aggressive and definitely getting a lot more of those knife throws out as well. I'm noticing, because you're seeing those dots coming off the Mendoza. He's definitely dying more this game. I feel like they're getting that. They've changed their focus up a lot more.
Yeah, hitting the knife of Cezanne is a huge differentiator between an average Cezanne or an above average Cezanne. If you don't hit that knife, it really affects the fight negatively for your team. He's having to tank up at a medical station, and he has no med kits right now. So we're still seeing a bit of a mismanagement of med kits from the Slam fam. He could always be swapping to heal 20 each time, but that's so slow. That's really used to kind of keep yourself alive in the middle of fights. You shouldn't rely upon that as you transfer up and down the map to heal yourself. As you can see, he's keeping the shotgun for the movement buff, but the movement buff is really only initially when you switch to it. So I would love to see him switch to the rifle or the knife right here and get that shotgun reloaded.
This is going to be an interesting one, whether or not we see. I was trying to look at Harvester control there. We got 3 at the moment for Slam fam as well. They're doing pretty well on that Harvester control, though that's been taken back. It's all going to be around mid, actually. This is an interesting fight because you've got the ledge up there. I mean, they need to get that northern control, right? That upper ledge. But the thing is, the hive kind of blocks a lot of your view, and obviously there is like 2 or 3 ways to get around there. So they just need to be careful for like a kind of Drakal back attack, because I feel like that's something that they could potentially fall into. And it's interesting now as well. Again, it's very important to note about the heals, but the Cezanne has caught up. Like, we've got 2 heals, 2 med packs on them. They might kind of pre-med as well.
They're starting to grab themselves some meds, and pre-medding is a mechanic here in the game, folks. You can med right before you want to fight, and that 600, 800 healing is going to be ticking while you're fighting, even if you're at full health, which kind of helps you tank the first few shots of an engagement. This long but short in height cliff between Central and River is what we've been talking about in terms of a positional advantage, but they still aren't level 5, which could affect the fight very negatively for the Slam fam right now. We see Mendo getting a lot of free damage. Now, I call this free because he hasn't lost his full interaction shield, or not interaction shield, rather. It's a smaller shield that he gets, and will reset six seconds of not taking damage, and it's right back up for Mendoza.
Well,
so you got to be careful.
Here's a question here as well, talking about the shield and everything else. You know, upgrade-wise, we're on 4v5. Like they obviously have to engage on this hive because it's the third one, but they're also they're really close to this level 5, so they need to. I don't know what the situation is with harvesters right now.
Yeah, it will be ticking at some point. I mean, just because you're 3-2 on harvest doesn't mean the other team doesn't get essence, but it's going to be at a much slower rate.
Yeah. It's just seeing whether or not they can hold out till 5, because I feel like that's what they're trying to do, right? They're trying to make it
collapse
equal.
onto this player here in Canyon. It looks like they're doing it. That health is ticking very, very low for Seifer. If they can get some out of the fight, that's huge. It looks like it's going to happen. There we go. Intimidate you on Earl is going to take out Seifer on Summer. And if they can get re-healed up and not lose somebody, get traded out right now, Earl's at risk right now. He needs to blow back vents and get back and heal.
Cezanne actually might go down as well, to be fair. There goes Dracol. He's got to push so that the Cezanne can actually heal. She's so in the open, but it's okay. They're all around the corner. Cezanne's going to go back in. That knife, waiting to see if she gets it off. I think they stuffed out. Yeah, they've moved out. But they've got control, and they're about to hit level 5. This is going to be really good for them. And actually, they're not even close to 6 now, the Goon Squad. So this is going to be very even. Oh, they're going for Hive.
That is very brave, especially with the Metamorphosis Hives.
Especially when they're not
taking
5.
his distance.
Like
and the respawn is going to come through.
Yeah. This is a very, very interesting decision. Maybe they just want the hive up to get it down, but they're gonna get the Cezanne here if they're not careful. Although here comes the Dracol.
Dying for the melee. He does interrupt the capture.
They do have upper ledge, but you can get the goo plant pop there, and it's going to be extra damage. I can see Arrow presence of mind to grab that at the end of his spray. Earl going low here. This could be the throw right now in terms of the choice making.
Yeah, this was an unfortunate choice. Really, really unfortunate choice. They had a really strong advantage there. And it looks like they might even, Dracol's just going to go for the cap.
Cleaning this one up. And there's nobody to challenge.
That was unfortunate. I mean, I think there we saw maybe they felt the opportunity when they did grab a kill. And to be fair, the Dracol on the team of Goon Squad did an excellent job at denying Cezanne their heal. And just getting in their faces right at that last minute. It was really good actually to just see the Dracols as well in those games. But I think the summer difference, the summer being there as well was a big influence. But I think individual plays, and maybe just decisions from teams in general. Maybe just Slam Fam.
I like the speed. I like the speed of decision making there, even if it didn't feel like the long-term right decision. They turned and burned Hive, and even if we didn't see if the Goon Squad proc the Hive by simply shooting at it to start the wasps going out. And remember, these are metamorphosis wasps who are going to do much more damage and damage over time, which the team has to worry about. They did have to turn and burn, I think, even in order to get that upper ledge above Central with the goo plant that kind of threatens it. But I would have loved to see them just burn Hive and then try and heal up and maintain this 4v3 and see if they can meaningfully damage them out of the fight and keep them away. As we talked about Mendo keeping their team with a lot of medkits, it definitely meant that just because they were down 4-3 doesn't mean they couldn't keep their distance. They were still very mobile and hard to track down. Something that I want to give a big shout out to Arrow for accomplishing was when he hit the stealth plant, the cloak plant rather, he was cutting very unpredictably. The problem was he did get caught out by Cezanne at that last time in the match to this time, but at the beginning he hit that cloak plant, went to another cloak plant, stayed hidden, healed up. The key to getting away with the cloak plant, because the cloak does not last for as long as you might think, is just being unpredictable. Like, you think you know where they're going and they go somewhere else. Also, as we all remember in this game, or if you haven't played, you have a scan function. Every player can press control, crouch, and you can start seeing through walls. You can see all sorts of red shapes. You do have to stare at them for a few seconds to resolve it into a player shape or, a PvE shape, whether it's a stomper or something like that. But by that time, the enemy's probably already healed. So they did good to get away. And Arrow just consistently being allowed to put out the damage, 12,000 damage on him. The only player in the entire match, I think, to get over 10K. 10 kills to 8 kills, though. Big difference from match 1, to be fair.
Okay. Well, there we go. And we now have bracket up on the screen as well, so you guys can see the rest of the tournament and how that's going through as well. And chat, by all means, dip in. We're still new to this ourselves, so talk about it. Definitely question what we're talking about here. This is all good. Your opinions are very valued. Let me just see who we're going to follow in these next games, because obviously we need to switch over. I think we're going to pick up... We might just go with... this is going to be awkward. I'm not sure who... Placeholder and Elegant. Might be worth seeing where we are with those games. We need to make sure these guys are actually on their 2-minute delay, because this has been a little bit of an issue so far today. Let's have a look. We might...
Goon Squad, and we got 2 Zoomers versus Fire Starters who are up 1-0. It looks like we got Elegant versus Placeholder, and then SS Nerf Earl, which I assume is, that is definitely gonna be Prof's team getting the bye. I called it already because they always talk, I think, champions of week 1 worth mentioning, under the team name Nerf Earl Tonight. I asked them what all that's about. They say, you know what that's about, which means I, as an Earl main, am supposed to know that my hunter's overpowered. Please, you're never going to get me to admit that. That's like getting a Bug main to admit that he needs adjustments, all right? Come on now.
Until we see Bug in competitive Crucible, I don't think that's ever going to happen. I mean, EU, actually, I don't know if EU played more Bugs today. They did last week.
I think that it's hard to make the comp work, especially against a competitive team, because in public matchmaking, let's be very fair and very honest. We have basically like the ability of them to just dominate if you're not ready for a Bug. Zerk Zeus, a special shout out to him, one of the competitive Bug mains who's been a tester before the game was even out, has really explored the competitive depths of Bug in Alpha Hunters, RIP Alpha Hunters, Pepe Hands. Which may come back, which is the duos battle royale mode. There was a lot of Bug that was used effectively. Even Believe, who we'll see in this tournament, was using Bug competitively as well. So there's potential there, especially if you build a team around it. But I feel like a lot of competitive teams just know how to zone out and just insta-kill a Bug if you're not careful.
I'm just getting a Jonah, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm a Bug. Bug is my most experienced character, and if I'm ever against anyone, it's a Jonah. Yeah. Always a Jonah, or Drakar, actually. Kind of annoying. If only Drakar, only if he gets his pull. Only if he doesn't get his pull, he normally dies because he's not walking in my vulnerability. Dust. It's just like, and he's just purple, and you're just like, yeah, plants, run away. But if he gets the pull, I'm probably dead or a stun. Actually,
I think also a big part about the anti-Bug comp is just when you focus that much damage on Bug early, it forces him to use his overshield, his Q, much earlier than he really wants to. You want to use that as late as possible, basically when you're getting heavily focused, and or your team could use the shield or your plants could use the shield. If you have to do that just to survive at the beginning, it's just another competitive advantage dropped for your team by the other team's actions. Definitely, hopefully going to see some of Prof's Jonah. I feel like we are going to see that today, just because I still say they're 1 seeds and favorites to win the tournament again. There's some strong contenders, and I'm really, really impressed by their ability to get out there. I believe Gentle Giant's team, which we just saw win, made it all the way to 2nd, and I heard their team had just been compiled that week. Not just that week, but within the last half week before the tournament that weekend. So big props to them for getting to push and pull forward. And what I really, really like to see are a lot of teams that did not have early access to the game, non-alpha tester teams kind of starting to push their way into viability and relevance in the competitive scene here. I really do want to see that because we had talked about this before the stream started, Jebro. Gatekeeping is a real issue when some people have hundreds of hours ahead of time, and we don't want the new players to not feel welcome in the scene or feel like they can't compete in the competitive level.
So, I mean, and this is the thing, and a lot of things is that we might not even see these comps in a month. We might not, there'll be so many changes and there'll be so many things.
The metas will change. Yeah, absolutely.
So
and
it's
to
a
be
lot
fair,
of working, and the EU's playing differently with the bugs, like we mentioned as well. Like even just with that, there's already a difference between NA and EU, and it's like, okay, that's
stick
cool.
around, folks, for the EU after the NA. All right, we're going for a while today. Even if I'm not going to be here with Jebro casting, we got some great caster coming on. I believe it's going to be Siju.
Oh, not today, not today, not today, not
oh,
today.
really?
No,
Was that yesterday, or is this going to be tomorrow?
No, EU was before this. EU's already started and almost done. That's just an idea I had for the future.
I see.
Yeah. Oh, not doing that today. That was like, CG's like, what? Am I casting?
No, okay, wait.
It's already almost over.
I sounded so confident saying that. Oopsies. All right, we're going to hold off on declaring stuff like that without the Jebro go ahead next time.
Honestly,
but in terms of
surprise people. And that's not even something which might not be
Jebro
possible.
And chat, yeah. Well, the comps, to speak to the comps before we move on to the next matchup, the Summer and Cezanne were the only difference. I would say Jakal, Earl, Mendoza, very meta in NA, which is very dive heavy, aim heavy, projectile damage heavy. We love our shooters, and to think we're the best at shooters. There's a lot of egos out there on the competitive NA scene. I play with them during the week when I get a chance to, and I'm always happy to. But I do think that Summer was not as viable as Cezanne. I think Cezanne was being more combat effective, especially in game 2. But experience and team coordination carried the day for the Goon Squad, so they managed to go through. But I do think that they could afford to swap out the Summer from time to time. It really just depends.
Righty-ho. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what the other comps are. I'm looking for, I think, 2 Zoomers. I might be able to just dip into their game quickly and see where they are, because these guys came, I think they were 3rd last week. I'm trying to see if they're actually on. There's Zoomers, they've actually not changed their name. There's Chintalian Asa. Now, Chintalian was streaming last week. Let me see if we can find.
I did just get pulled away for a moment. Okay.
No, you're good.
Are we grabbing people for the next matchup?
Well, I'm trying to find them. This is the thing. I mean, Chintalian, I know, and those guys, I don't know if I don't think they're actually streaming right now, unfortunately. Let me have a look. Chintalian, Asa, Exploits, and Madness Diablo. Don't know if we're going to be able to grab that, because I don't think anyone from their team is actually streaming. Oh no, Chintalian is. Awesome. I'm just going to grab his POV after this ad has been completed. Not right yet. So we are still, like, as I said, guys, don't know if I mentioned this earlier, we are having to have a look at people's streams in terms of different views and everything else. She is streaming. Yeah, I just found him. I think what we're going to do is
Believe's live right now.
They're literally about to win, actually. It looks like they're literally about to win. We'll grab this. Oh, see. There we go.
Wait, well, I see Believe it is 0-0 Heart of the Hives match right now. He is on a delay, though.
Well, we're going to grab this. We're going to grab this Chintalian, this team. We're seeing right here the Zoomers, guys. He's going to be versus Goon Squad. Try and ignore what's going on at the top of the screen in terms of score and teams and whatnot. But these guys are the ones we're actually going to cast probably. So it's going to be the next
Chintalian, which is the menace in game. A lot of people have different stream names.
He did say he changed it. I think so.
Oh, is it in-game to Chintalian, or is he changing everything to the menace?
Changing everything to Chintalian.
Oh, okay.
Is this true?
All right.
Yeah. Well, I hope so anyway. So we're gonna see these guys. It looks like they're gonna win this second. I think this is the second game of the series, as it does say they're 1-up versus Firestars at the moment. They're going to be versus Goon Squad. Then we've got, I don't know, Placeholder versus Elegant must have already started, because I think someone else is covering that right now as well. But yeah, we're just going to wait. We're going to wait patiently. I'm not going to jump into different games and miss the start of an entire series, because I want to make sure we get series done rather than random games here and there. And they're on this side as well.
We are staying with Chin, or we are not?
Their team's going to be playing in the next series, so in the semi-final.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So on the bracket, if you do ! brackets in chat, people, it's going to be, because they're literally on the last hive, and it feels like they're going to win this. We're not even casting it right now, just because I'm just looking at the bracket and doing all the things. So if you guys can see on your screen right now, the brackets. It's going to be Goon Squad versus probably 2 Zoomers. I'm just watching this on my other screen just in case they come back. I don't like presuming that that's going to be a thing that happens. And if anything else changes, we'll jump back into that. We have got currently Placeholder versus Elegant, I believe. Placeholder is, I think, Believe as well. Just double check. Placeholder. I'm not sure when they're going to change the name. It is Believe, Blue Jay, Allegro, and Jingle Buns as well. I'm not sure if that has changed. Maybe it has. Oh, there you go. They've won that game. Okay, so we will be going with that series coming up next. And we'll get back into it. Hope everyone's good in chat and we're having a good day. Spike, plant, kill. Yeah, that's what it's about, Epic. Big rogue.
Okay, so what are we taking a look at right now?
We're just waiting for that series I mentioned.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
we're not
yeah, we're just
actively
waiting.
spectating anybody.
Yeah, no, we're not. We're going to be spectating Chintalian and also Arrow again. Oh, not Arrow. I've got Arrow at the moment. Oh Jesus, he's be right back screwing Chintalians.
Oh my God, the 5-head, folks. I don't know if you have better Twitch TV, but that's a great emote.
Jesus. Oh dear.
I'm a big fan as somebody with a big forehead, and I suppose technically you could claim that yourself, right?
I mean,
I can respect it.
It's going forever. It exists
it's all
in this
forehead
world.
at this point.
Yeah. I don't have.
I mean, we're also, 5-head is not just a reference to having a big forehead. It's the big brain. So, big brain plays Chin is aspiring to, I can tell. And then we're grabbing Chin on one side. Well, you do have Arrow there on the other, it looks like. So let's see what else we got. 2 Zoomers with Boomers, by the way. I mean, there's 2 Boomers as well. So they're acting like the majority is Boomers. That's something I would love to see, though. Some coaches, some Boomers getting in, some competitive retirees, right? I'm 29. I'm a Boomer on the internet, and then I'm absolutely 100% certified esports Boomer when I hit the age of 30. It's just over, bro. Unless you're Zeus, you played a competitive CSGO.
What are you guys talking about?
Over.
Do you even know what Boomer age is? You're in your 20s.
Yes, this is internet terms, Jebro.
I'm not.
Okay, I don't make
internet terms. Boomer is like older than me, and I'm 38.
Yes, I'm the baby Boomers, right? I'm very familiar.
Christ.
I'm a big fan of social studies.
Everyone's terrible. Everyone's terrible.
I don't make the rules. It's because of the Zoomers, all right? We started calling them Zoomers, and then they started the OK Boomer meta, and it's just over now, Jebro. If you're over the age of 20 at this point, you're an internet Boomer. You don't, Jesus. I don't make the rules. It's ridiculous. I agree, but it's happening.
I'm beyond the grave right now. I'm just not even here. Just it. There's just no point in me being around. I mean, you
might as well call it now.
I'll just stop the stream. It's okay. Bye, everyone.
I hate to see it, dude. It's over. Oh no.
Oh, life.
It's like some kind of those who can't do teach, and then those who can't teach gym, right? But it's like those who can't play cast.
Sorry if you're a gym teacher out there. Just going solid.
Just kidding. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. Big shout out to Mr. Longero, my high school teacher. He was out there, uniballing, just working it.
I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what that means.
I don't know how deep your stream goes in this, but he was Lance Armstrong in it. All right, he had a single unit. That's what. It was a track and field accident, and I don't think we should. That's not the kind of thing to throw on your stream.
I'm not sure I need to talk about that in the cast.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh no.
It's okay. It's okay. So don't worry. It's a professional here. Okay.
Yeah, our track coach the same. That's the 3rd coach I've heard about her like that. Maybe it's just a super trend here. He's a great health teacher too. I don't know how it worked. Did you do your full schooling in England, or did you do anything?
Toast is just thinking himself a great.
Dude, we're out here. No. I'm trying to transfer sideways into like health class versus PE.
Oh, okay. No, I've only been here for 3 years.
Okay. In American Public High School, which I was in, typically you do your sexual health education kind of like class as a semester off from physical education.
Okay.
They take 1 semester and they just teach you. I was fortunate enough to go to a private middle school, and we already had done all that, so nothing was really new to me there. But I think it's important in public education to get everybody educated like that, because I was just kind of trying to refer to the fact that a lot of EU nations a little bit ahead of that, to the point where one of my favorite Fortnite streamers, his joke is, you got that NA education. you know?
Yeah.
Because sometimes we got that NA education, and that's not a compliment.
Well, it's
sometimes.
all NA education today as we go into the game.
Oh,
and then
absolutely.
Start to talk about
so we got
the
Chin,
team.
and who do we have on the other one? Who should I be pulling up on my side screen
We've
here?
got Chintellian and we've got Aero as well from the last game. From last series.
Okay. We fully do. And I'm looking at 2 different drop pods, which speaks well to the synergy.
We are.
Oh my god, it's perfect
synergized.
for me.
Okay.
It's literally the one just closed. Oh, I didn't even grab the events. Okay, we got damage amps. I don't know what the damage with the sunburst is. I don't know if that's a spike or if that's like a pod situation, but we will see it as we get into game.
We will do indeed. Okay, so we saw a big difference. We've got Asa, who is playing on Tosca as well. And Tosca, Asa is probably I think almost the highest level character in the game. Plus 400, plus maybe 500 by now. So this is a person who literally plays Tosca all day. Every day, so you're gonna be watching out for that young man as well.
Nobody's as high level as Asa. People were like, "There's no way he's not like a couch here with his brother or something to get at this level." But I've played with him. This man just grinds.
Just good.
Asa.
Just playing the game. That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what he's gonna get good. He's gonna get good. No summer on the other side. Recall. We've got Shikiri. Oh yes. Shikiri
yes, we'd love
hype.
to see some Shikiri.
Shikiri hype is going to be amazing. We were talking about this with Kalo and the winners interview, and how Shikiri has a lot of kit, like decent kit. We've obviously, that dome being awesome as well. So useful, especially for capping hives. And just denying and just making, if you're in a big area which is open, you can use it to help your team heal, for God's sake. All duck down, all get that heal off, as long as they're not damaging it too much. Although, to be fair, you can burn through that dome pretty quick, but he does give you a little bit of breathing room.
I personally love the Shikiri Earl combo. You throw that on the Shikiri dome for the first half of the hive take. If they pop the dome, you use the Earl blowback vents to stop anybody from getting in with the melee. And if you time it well, especially with a Tosca take, it's almost unstoppable. As long as you guys are not taking too much damage and getting poked out there. So there's a lot of hive meta that I'm hoping people who are new can appreciate and understand, and people who are experienced can learn from these teams here. And I think seeing Shikiri in here is great. I see a big difference between these teams' rosters, and one of the notable ones to me is that we have 2 projectile players on Arrow's team. On the Goon squad, we've got both Earl and Mendoza, so they're going to be outputting damage, whereas Asa, he is projectile, he's got the shotgun for the dot, but it's a bit delayed damage, and we also have the projectile pistol on Shikiri. But in terms of pure just line of sight kind of hit scan level damage, I do think Goon Squad has the advantage here. Bit of a dive comp, bit of lower health pools because of the not Earl on Chin's team, but we're gonna have to withhold judgment until we see fight number 1 here.
Yeah, I mean, they're both being sensible right now. They're just going for, I think they're a little bit less sure of, maybe a little bit less confident about how they're gonna do in these fights as well. We have got a little bit of a harvester advantage at the moment for, it looks like Goon Squad, no, for Zoomers, sorry. And so we are just gonna, it's not gonna be that much difference right now. Level wise, we're pretty identical, both at level 2, but on the same point in the bar. It's gonna be about whether or not, are we seeing a potential fight come out?
He's coasting. He used his shift into E, which is great for max distance, but I would have loved to see him save it for a second. He's not level 3, so even if he took it, it's not going to be helping him right now. I did not see.
Are they going to dome him? There's the stun. Oh no! They got the E off.
His E back up again.
Yeah, nice. Amazing pull.
Menace, I was going to talk about this. Menace is one of the best Drakals that I've ever seen play the game. He might be the best Drakal, at least on my radar in the competitive scene. He is a specialist, just like Asa is a Tosca specialist. So we're going to see a lot of great like high level play from him. What I did not see in terms of affecting the matchup last best of 3 we saw, I didn't see a lot of ropes, as I like to call them, from Gentle Giants Drakal. It didn't seem to be necessary as ways, getting a lot of fights, but that rope from Drakal is huge. It's just like the difference between like an average Zazan and an above average Zazan is landing the knife. For Drakal, landing those ropes is super crucial to be effective in team fighting.
Agreed, definitely. It's a big early kill, but just the one. So it's okay. We're not looking too bad right now. It's just the one kill. It does put him a little bit ahead in XP, but if you have a look at the bars at the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, just switching over to the other team, Goon Squad, of course, Arrow's point of view, it's not a big difference right now, but it will be a big difference, sorry, if we hit that level 3 over just as the hive comes up, obviously, as well, which is very close, and they want to hit that level 3 before they get involved in any fight. And this is where the first hive is going to be important. I feel like they could come back in just a little bit of farm here, but they're looking out for this. They must know that they're close to free. They've got to be checking it. Now they can in the scoreboard as well before they engage in this. Like, they need to be very, very careful about this fight, because I feel like, how close are they to free? They're so close to free, and they're going to have such a massive advantage. Look at this. Zoom is very close to level 3. I would even just wait on their behalf. They're not even. Are they going for the
hive for them? Which means that you could just dive the fight if you want to. They're going to take their time. They're a little bit split here. Tosca out front.
Why? No.
I'm seeing one player further back, but
level 3.
They just hit it. There we go. 3.
Just hit it.
And there's no way Goon Squad's hitting level 3 here. So this is a huge power spike. Everyone's getting their level 3 ability upgrades right now. And it looks like a pre-med coming out from Menace, aka Chin, right now. And I think that's dangerous to have a Drakal on full health ready to go here. He's going to flank left. Definitely want to see. He's trying to zone out the Drakal, and he is. Interesting to see what Tosca getting caught on the tree here as well.
Well, the thing is, the one thing is that at least they've got the high ground, you know? They've got a really good position on this hive. They've got full vision. Oh, here comes the extra damage, and they've got the little cheeky heal from the blue team. Drakal as sorry.
Oh, the rope! Whoa. Excellent work by Menace to deny that right there.
Oh no, Menace is gonna go down. Gentilian, sorry, he's gonna get his healed, a little bit of a dot. He's around this corner of this tree here. He's actually gonna be fine, but with his HP, and we are gonna see the kill coming out as well. Good job, Seafarer and Gentle Giant going down on Twitch TV.
Menace getting the stun too onto Arrow. That is all she wrote for this team fight, I'm afraid, folks. I think the Drakal sacrifice play is 100% worth it. Leaves a 3-on-1.
Wow.
If they can clean up the Earl, that's a free heart right there, and they do. JT grabbing Chin, but man, that was a 4-on-1 trade in terms of kills right there, and that was great. As I said, one of the best Drakals I've seen play this game right now. Chin was so impactful there, using his health all the way down to the wire. Making the first rope a miss was kind of a showstopper for the moment. It was a show delayer, really, because they won the day. That second rope being hit, so I got to highlight the 2 out of 3 hits on the rope for Drakal so far. Big importance.
Good start. Here we go. Again, just coming back into the map and seeing how we can go on from here. Level 2, they're not even hit 15
seconds.
Yeah, damage amps are going to be a big deal. They need to make sure, hopefully divide 1 between each team. That would be good to see. That is even marking targets in game. Look at that. Even though they're in comms, this is the thing. Maximizing that communication, very important. Hopefully we get voice comms soon in the game. We're just waiting for Arrow. He's just going to be picking up that damage amp. You can see in the bottom right hand corner of your screen, especially if you're a new player, that's one of the amplifiers which increases your damage. I feel like we've got it on the other team. I did just see that kind of ding up on Chintalian's side. So
in the upper left, I think the damage lightning bolt with the radiant kind of burst pattern behind it, I think that's just like a global damage boost.
That's
so
the event going on now. Yeah, that's about to run off.
It's about to hit for this fight, which is going to be very interesting. We still have a med kit on Menace,
I think it's
so
run
he's
off.
going to be able to pre-med.
That's just finished that event.
Oh,
that's the
okay.
one we
That's
had
why
during
everything
the
looks
fight.
so very saturated with
red
colors.
And yellows and whites and whites, not whites, but you know. Just brightness, basically. Oh, Chintalian again. He is so super aggressive. Damn. He's 1v3 here. He's only 1v4, actually. There's no one else around.
He does all the time like this. This is the Menace bread and butter right now. And it's kind of working. He's zoning so hard. He actually made Seifer quit on that take and being very opportunistic with the ropes right now on a bit of a need to get out here because he's wasted a lot of his cooldowns. He's gonna get stunned and picked out, and that's good. Punish that overextend by him. He got a little too ambitious and probably felt that this team was kind of free low because of how easy that research fight was, but he's put his team at a bit of a disadvantage here. Tosca's still putting out damage and trying to blink away though. Interesting move on the right here through the river. Now they can use their Drakal to push and dive as far as they want and kind of push for territory.
Just trying to make sure these scores around the right way. Sorry.
Oh, no problem. I can blab at the mouth at
No. It's all good. I'm just talking generally to the stream. Like I actually had the score names around the wrong way, so it might be confusing at the moment.
Oh, okay.
It is 1-0 to Zoomers, who were on the bottom level there. They did win that fight indeed. So this is who it is. Chintalian is the Drakal you see on your screen right now. They are currently winning. I think I had it around the right way and then I changed it and went the wrong way. But we are looking at the second hive fight now as well. Advantage to Chintalian's team, who you've got on your screen with Zoomers. with Zoomers or Boomers with Zoomers. It's an interesting team there. But again, the advantage is very much on their side. They do have the level up. It's just the it's not the choice upgrade. It's just the extra upgrade, the extra power and a little bit of health as well. But now they're just trying to range this goon squad, trying to range them out again in this very similar strat that they had from before as well. You know, they've got the lower ground as well again, actually, the Zoomers team. And they're just trying to be ranged out by the goon squad. So we'll see how well they get on with this one. I'm not sure that this strat is going to work. They just have to play it a little bit differently this time. I feel like they just let Zoomers come in, actually, to be honest.
Well, this Tosca damage is going to be, the longer the gauge of it lasts, the better it is for their team, especially because Menace has got 2 med kits right now, and he's going to be spamming this right click, which is way more impactful than people get credit for. Good damage. Also, it just makes people not want to get touched by it. Gentle Giant wastes his rope, which means now Menace is at risk for, in a good way, pulling somebody off this ledge here. He might try and yoink it. No, he's getting these right clicks. He's getting this damage onto Earl. He's definitely decided to go in here. Gets the spin, and JT's boosting into people to try and sacrifice to stop the cap, and I think they do stop the cap, but that is a 4-on-3 advantage now. Shaqiri at half health, but is med kitted up. JT out, Seifer going to go down here as well. It looks like all the way down to 0, and Asa just making that choice work. And that was quite the right click from Shin onto Gentle Giant. That was actually very well done.
But look at the Shaqiri. Look at the Shaqiri dome as well, like completely fine. And they trapped that team member in there. I think we're seeing some effective use of this Shaqiri as well, which I just want to point out. We're seeing a nice few little domes in the distance where, you know, they've tried. What they've done is they've picked someone else to take down and kill, and they've kind of just put someone else in the dome at times just to keep them completely separate from the fight. So the Shaqiri's even, I'm not sure if it's exactly the case, and someone maybe in chat can talk about it as well, but not necessarily using the dome as just to place a point of kill, but just to keep someone out of the fight. Like, you know, keep a melee lockdown, keep like someone who's going to offer support, as well as people, you know, who are going to be able to zone out the enemy and engage and stuff, you know. And I feel that's something which is really important to talk about. You know, these heroes that can just keep someone at bay off to the side while the team fight goes on, like keep that very strong hero or the very strong player out, even if it's just like in a Jonah or something, you know. And I'll be interested to see how that goes versus a team like Net later on, like if Zoomers go against them later on, how a Shaqiri gets involved in that kind of fight, because they have to obviously, you know, lock down and then Jonah, and for like a Prophet, doing that to a Prophet player, like, I don't know.
Player. Are you talking about a Jonah? You're talking about Prof.
I'm just talking about Prof, really. I mean, I don't know.
A player for their hunter because they are, let's be frank, the most advanced competitive player on the character. That's kind of what's happening right now. I think I called Drakal a menace earlier in the match, and I keep calling him menace because I always used to see him on the Alpha Hunters. I definitely mained Alpha Hunters for the first week of release, and him and Asa were just out there working it. The great thing about this team, like you said, the Shaqiri bow is so versatile. You can absolutely zone out players, you can trap players, you can use it to capture the hive. There's a lot of different uses for it, and I think a big part of why it's so useful is that teammates can go in and out at will, whereas enemy players cannot. So not only are you keeping somebody from the enemy team in the bubble, you're keeping their teammates out from being able to truly help them. Whenever you get bubbled on your team, you're like, oh no, I'm in bubble. There's like that initial panic, which might
what am I doing with my life right now?
And then your teammates want to focus on damaging the bubble to get you out, so the damage output for everyone on your team is just so mitigated, so affected when a bubble goes out on one of your teammates.
Again. Wow.
Big cover from the stun by the enemy Drakal here. From Chin's point of view.
This is so important. Chin now is just chasing them. It looks like they're all just running away from him right now. And here comes the Mendoza. Doesn't get that pull off. Unfortunately, he's got his vulnerability. There's a big stun onto the enemy team, Drakal. Vulnerability as well. He's going to be dropping so low so quickly. And there we go. Sandwiched between himself between the Drakal and the Mendoza there. And that is going to be Gentleman down. It looks like they're thinking about potentially ending it right here. That's gonna be game right here, I believe.
It's huge.
Look at the heals as well. They've got no pressure on. Although we do see potential.
Chin's right above them. He can't wait to jump in off the second mech. There it is. And he's gonna make sure Seifer's stunned. And there it is. Excellent work by him. He's been so impactful this game. And oh no, the rope doesn't hit. He's hit about half of his ropes. At the first, it was so much accuracy, but he's doing the quick melee and vulnerability right there. Nice little mechanic that not everybody's aware of. When they take invulnerability on their melee, they're like, wait a minute, I just left click this guy and he's not taking this purple vulnerability function. But what you have to do is you have to hit that V button, that quick melee first. And he's been very good right there at the end at level 5 at hitting it and then continuing to chop. Huge damage output by him. I want to see the stats, but he's tapping away. Arrow had 7K, and I didn't even see. Okay, now he's saving. Oh, he's uploading a screenshot to Steam already, folks. Come on.
Oh no, they have to do it. They have to do it for Rivals Cup.
Okay. I was like, dude, that's not exactly the time to be bragging. Relax.
No. So on everyone, everyone in chat, like when you finish a tournament, it doesn't matter if it's streamed or not. Players need to post their scoreboard to Discord so that they can confirm results. Yeah, it's definitely not a brag. I mean, maybe just like for their own records, that would be cool. But yeah, no, it's just a results poster for tournament purposes. It's all good. It's part of the rules. I don't know if he's that. I don't know if he's that.
Yeah, I was like, dude, he's flexing. No, but when I talk about egos, I just like the way when you talk about a Jonah or Prof, you mean a Jonah. When I talk about egos, I really do mean Prof and Menace. Whenever I have them in a joint voice call when I'm playing Crucible with them, I can't tell who's gonna brag more, and it's always a toss. It's funny though, and I think that it's just a part of esports, and you got to accept it. And sometimes value it and cherish it, because if somebody can kind of have an attitude about their skills in Crucible, as long as they don't allow it to become toxic, it's part of what big ups the game and makes people feel like it can have an esports scene. If being really good at this game means nothing, then how can you have a tournament that means something? So I love to see player confidence increase. I love to see team confidence increase, and I love just to see more and more teams get involved here. So I'd love to see bigger and bigger brackets when it comes to Crucible tournaments.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see more characters.
By the way.
I know. It's, we've got, so I mean, maybe it's worth talking about this comp from them. I mean, they have to be careful here. We've actually, that's the first time we've seen Shikiri actually in one of these Crucible tournaments. I know it's the only week 2, so there is that. But yeah, interesting to see a Shikiri. I can't really see anything else other than the 5-head obviously coming up from Tintanium, but
dude, I'm loving the 5-head, and like I guess we call it the 3-head right there in the middle there. Oh, so good. Big stretch. Might need to get one of those myself. Contract him to do some graphical work.
Oh god.
Some nice MS Paint work. I would have the 6-head at that point though. People cannot compete with this 4-head. I'm telling you.
Amazing.
Amazing. I'm loving it. So this is a best of 3 and we're still looking for game 2 now. Between Goon Squad
this is
and
going to be the
Zoomers.
second game in the series. Yes.
Yeah. Indeed. Yeah. Zoomers, 2 Zoomers with Boomers. I assume it's Asa and Chin who are the Zoomers being referenced in that team name. I actually have not seen this 4th teammate Exploits play yet.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing good on Mendo from what I can tell. I think you don't, with a team like that where it's very clear that Shin's being one of the most impactful parts of the team, as you recall, it's not necessary for him to be carrying the day and being the most out there player, because Arrow was definitely the most out there player for the first best of 3 we saw in terms of damage and impact on the match. So sometimes, discretion being the better part of valor and stuff like that. Amendo, who you know what I mean, is just doing well and not being super noticeable in the plus or the minus column, and maybe it's just because we can't see their point of view, is good. And also I like that he's putting out the damage, and you can always flex the Earl instead of Mendo. So I hope that Exploits has Earl in their repertoire, because they've got almost the perfect lineup right there. I prefer Earl over Mendo on their lineup, because think about it. They got the Tosca capture speed. They've got the the Earl blowback fence. They got the Shikiri bubble. And then Drakal he's almost necessary in lineups right now. I can see that they're going with Tosca instead of Drakal on their squad. They're kind of sacrificing their Drakal pick because they understand that Chin's going to be the better Drakal. He's got so much more time on it than pretty much anybody.
If he comes back in time. The game.
Yeah. Yeah. AFK chair stream, everybody. Pog champion. All right, so let's take
Gintalian. I mean,
all left choices on him.
It's gonna be
right
fine.
now.
It's gonna be absolutely
big picture
fine.
on the other one. I need the notes.
Interaction shield, scanning platform, regeneration amplifiers, no damage, medkit amplifiers as well. Essence siphon, which we saw in the first game in the previous series. Scanning platform, pretty useful, I guess. I don't see many people.
Regen amps, man. That my favorite matches are regen amplifier matches because it is so impactful. In my opinion, more impactful than any other amplifier that could be the one for a match. For those who don't know, it gives you about 50,000 heal passive that will tick throughout the match. I've never seen a regen amp run out during the match. So basically, you're going to get permanent healing for your entire
Apparently
team
that number
for the rest of the match.
doesn't mean anything. Apparently, according to John Pierce, it's just something you just get. The number is just there, and it just goes.
Oh, the
back
number
up.
doesn't. Yeah, so you get permanent healing.
It's just
and what's really impactful is if you can grab both. If you grab both, that means your team will have constant healing in every fight, and the other team will not. Now, this does not affect Dot. And both teams have a Tosca right now, so we are going to see that change here. We see Gentle Giant on the Tosca. I've not seen Gentle Giant's Tosca. I'm honestly only familiar with Gentle Giant's Earl, which is weird because we see JT Voyager on it. He's picked it up, and I think we talked about that this week and the last week about his thing here. I mean, I don't want to say I have helped him, but I don't want to not say that either. So now I'm feeling like I'm totally at risk, being like, listen, you better be the best Earl in this entire tournament. But it's not like I coached him. I didn't like Rocky coach him in the gym every day. Me and him shared some ideas because I have a lot of ideas about Earl and how he can fit into the meta that don't necessarily match up with everybody else's understanding and expectation of him. But
I think the Tosca is a very conscious decision. And Tosca is about I feel like it's about the Adjourner actually, like the future Adjourners that are like probably Prof as well, because you want someone to be bothering that Adjourner, and one of the people that can catch up with that Adjourner at least and can actually mist up and cause a lot of problems is a Tosca. I feel like that is probably going to be one of the biggest heroes to take him out, as well as picking up a first cheeky kill here as well. You can see in the bottom right hand corner as we flip over to Goon Squad's point of view, they do pick up the first kill on that Mendoza. So we're looking at nice early firm start here as well. Potentially hunting down Asa as well. Here comes the Mendoza, knows he's behind the column, and actually we could see
he blinks behind them, but he double blinks, and he doesn't have 3 blinks yet, so he's put himself a bit at risk. But he's always been at risk in this hunting party right now. Still at half health. Can he get away? He's gonna blink
using this
kit,
area so well.
Seifer grabbed him. Unfortunate.
It was unfortunate. He wasn't ever gonna get. He put kind of. Yeah, he was just unlucky there in the end. He knows the port. There's so many port points in this game where you can find bridges or doors or walls and whatnot where you can port through little gaps as Tosca, and he definitely knows pretty much probably all of them. I would say obviously by now. But when you're in this situation, you're not going to get out, especially if there's another Tosca there as well. And
I love those little walls that you can port through on the map. I don't think they should patch that or get rid of that at all. It adds to Tosca's kit. I call them 9 3/4. Like station 9 3/4. Okay, let's not do any kind of accents here on the stream. I apologize, Jebro.
Okay.
Erase the VOD portion that has that in that. But I love it because you just go through the wall and the other team's like, what do we do here? The answer is try and chase around the wall. But the problem with that is that he's so far gone. He's got such an advantage. Also, though, to be fair, Tosca he's very chaseable, downable when he uses his blinks. When he uses 1, it's like, maybe I'm going to be able to get him. When he uses 2, it's like everybody pile on if he doesn't have his 3 blinks yet. Yeah. Because what people fail to understand sometimes is that Tosca has a very low natural move speed. Very low. These little hops that we can see on Chin's screen are just not cutting it. The Menace here, Chin, able to just move so fast.
It's early until you get like the third port, if that's what, I'm pretty sure that's what most people are going for on Tosca, right?
Yeah, 3rd blink is so crucial. I think it actually might be level 4, and therefore, let me double check that for you. I am the color boy.
It's a later game where Tosca is really like even just ridiculous.
Yes,
and that's
number of blinks increases from 2 to 3 at level 4. Multi-charged blink fest is the name of that upgrade.
And whoa, look how many we've actually got. Zoomers on a ton of harvesters right now, and that's where I think we're seeing them rush out to try and get those as well. But this is the thing, and someone mentioned that Adjourner kills Tosca easily. It's not about killing necessarily, it's about poke and bothering. Because if the Adjourner is left to actually... let's just switch over to Jakar point of view indeed. I want to talk about that in a minute.
Great damage on JT.
There's the boot.
JT
there it is.
And there's the vulnerability. You got the quick melee. This man, he's at effective 200 max health there. It took away all of his health bar, that purple vulnerability you see on the health bar. At that point, he might have over 1,000 health, but his effective health, the health that you need to take away to kill him, drops down to that little teeny portion of the health bar.
You see at the bottom of the purple range there. And that was so crucial because he was still sitting at 1100. He can maybe Q, take his drink, use blue black fence to keep them zoned and get back to his team. But they ended that real quick and in a hurry. And that's super important because they just grabbed level 3 and they're almost even now in terms of Essence progress.
Indeed. It's the. I'm sorry if you guys can hear maybe some potential drilling going on above my thing on a Sunday. I'm definitely going to words with my neighbour in a bit. But we've just seen. I didn't catch much of what you just said. Sorry, I was just trying to. I just got my headphones to see where it was.
I was talking about vulnerability and what it means, giving everybody a reminder that the quick melee right at the beginning changes his effective health. He may have had about 1100, 1200 health in that bubble.
Yeah.
But getting that quick melee means that little teeny health bar at the bottom of the purple range was what he had left, that 200 at most health.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a great pick, essentially, not just because it creates this 4v3 for this heart that we now see, but it totally caught them up on Essence. They're almost exactly the same at level 3 now. But they do interrupt this Drakal heal here, and he's going to try and get away. I think they do let him get away, which is unfortunate. They should have sent the Tosca to finish this up because he can't heal in your face until level 4 and ignore damage. Now they're sending the Tosca, but it might be too little too late. He's going to jump on this Tosca here. He's damaging Seifer, and he does not land the rope, though. This means that Tosca could potentially get away. He messed up his stun, which means that they're all behind that big rock, and now he's got a med kit again. But he does have another med kit, so the fight is still on, and Earl's taking a lot of damage on the front line right now.
We see that dome coming up again as well, actually, Shaqiri, just to keep him out of the fight, actually. Good job!
Right here, look at this. Beautiful.
This is a really good job from Chintelli, and Mendoza, like Arrow, felt really secure, as if like he didn't really know where the Drakal was. And I feel like that's a call that you need to make as a team. You know, where's the Drakal? Where's the player that can come in with the dome, with the stun? And that's something they really need to pick up on. You know, that's going to be something in the future for all teams. You know, vision of people. Where is this player? And actually, last week, something which was really good, when we listened to comms from Net, was talking about the blinks, how many blinks Tosca has left, like as an example. They'll grab this hive, obviously, and this will be the first one for them. Zuma's looking to go.
They did get damaged off. Seifer was throwing a lot of fireballs, and it damaged off Mendo. Mendo had to back off and heal. He's at literally 1 HP. It actually killed him. The dot killed him.
Oh, he did? Oh,
which
wow.
Means,
okay.
Yep. Shin has got to zone this one off and try and let Asa take it.
My assumptions.
What I was about to compliment was Chin's target selection. He switched off from chasing Seifer on Summer earlier, and he changed onto the Tosca to allow Asa to win the Tosca v Tosca, because it was really neck and neck there in terms of health between Asa and Gentle Giant, and they won the day because not only was he on him, but Exploits was us. He stuns through this cloak plant. He's not letting Seifer get away right now. He should, and this zoning has let Asa, as predicted, grab the heart.
Let him go.
Yeah.
Summer's gone. You ain't catching up with Summer there when she's got her heat down as well. No way.
But interestingly enough, Arrow on Mendoza, right, has grabbed the interaction shield amplifier for his team. So they are going to have that one going forward. Very similar Essence progress, but they will hit level 4 if all things remain even. The Zoomers right ahead. So if they can force a fight 4-3 right before they take over, that could be good as well. But Arrow is trying to change the narrative there by grabbing Wetlands Harvester.
Okie dokie. Let's have a look where... I really do wish I was in the game more. There's not much I can do about the mouse at the moment on the screen sometimes, guys. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to ignore it at times. But it's just a capture screen thing. It's a bit annoying. Also, let's have a look. So we're just going back into the farm here. They're kind of chilling. We're going to have a look at Mendoza's point of view in terms of the Goon Squad. So they've got comeback here. So what do we need to see in terms of change here, fight-wise as well? And they're all kind of grouped up. I mean, we need to see them pick up some of these fights, right? We need to try and get some of these kills. I think their awareness is a little bit off compared to Zoomers. Just being aware of where Chintalian is specifically, and also the domes are really good from this team.
As a commentator, I hate reusing words, but impactful just keeps slipping into my vocabulary today because he is just being so impactful on Drakal. He's affecting the fights in a great way. Like you said, they need to be a bit more aware of the side flank, but also I think their positioning and shape during the fight is part of the problem there. They were lined up in a straight line leading into central, which meant that you knew that they were coming from one angle. There was no flank opportunity. In terms of what could be different about the way they choose and execute fights over on the Goon Squad, I think Seifer needs to get involved in a more meaningful way on Summer because they don't have a Drakal. That close melee range damage is just not going to be there in the same way that it is for a team that has Drakal, which means that we need to get that acetylene torch out for Summer. She needs to effectively get above 50 heat, but not too far, so that she can constantly be burning hunters right now. And we can see Chin just being a menace on the side right now, harassing here, med kitting. 2 out of 3 med kits. He's going to pre-med for this one. Just keep right clicking and being a threat here. He does this spin. He's still got to jump and shift.
They need to push Chintallion. I think they need to push Chintallion sometimes.
Punish him, but he can heal in their face now. Look, he's level 4. Damage will not interrupt medkit use, folks.
But look at Asa. This is what I'm talking about on Aero's point of view. He's round the side and he's poking them so they can't push as a team. And actually, because 2 of them are disengaged to go onto Asa on Tosca, they've completely they're going to lose members. They've lost 2 members here, and this is the point where you need to wow, look, just see this massive Chintallion. It's coming out of nowhere. Jesus Christ. All right, he was low HP, it's fine,
get him down.
But this is this is where we need to be careful with this team. It's being separated like that, because that's what Asa's doing. He's almost herding them to the side. It's so intentional. And actually, again, another dome kill coming out from Shikiri.
And it speaks to character experience. Huge experience on this Tosca on Zoomer's team, and huge experience on this Drakal, on both, really. I don't even know why I said the word huge twice for Drakal, because I think Asa might have twice the levels that Shin has. It really can't be understated how many character levels Asa has. If he keeps this up, he will probably be the first level 3000 character, because the character levels have been stated and shown via one of the patch notes the other day to go very, very high. Everyone thought it was like a race to 100 or a race to 300, and that's what dominated Twitch channels stream titles for a little bit there, because everyone was interested to see who's going to hit level 100 on each character. But it's going to go far, and he's going far on it. But what I really want to highlight about that last fight in terms of Asa's performance is capitalizing on this Drakal impact. He's getting this harassment on the side. He's getting good damage. The Earl got damaged, and I wanted to call that Asa was going to do it, but you can't guarantee it, so I didn't want to predict it, casters curse it. But he did do that. He exactly did that. He flanked left. He got JT as soon as he got out of blowback vents, because as soon as Earl uses blowback vents at low health, he's super vulnerable. Once he comes out of those vents, if he didn't use those vents to push himself somewhere safer from his with his team's cover to heal, he's done for. And Asa makes sure that happens. I hope that their Earl has taken level 5 Starball energy drink, because that will negate a lot of Tosca's dot damage. He just presses that Q when he feels like Tosca's done the most dot that they're going to do that fight, and it's like it never happened, which is great. But right now it's just a huge advantage. Level 5 over level 4 for another entire half level worth of essence progress on Goon Squad. So they could force a fight pretty much at will right now and win it. So it depends on how they press the advantage right now.
I feel like as well, this is good. I don't know if Net, who were the winners of our tournament last week, they're probably actually playing right now because we're in semi-finals. But it's definitely worth thinking about this Shikiri. I wonder if Kalo and what he was talking about last week will come to haunt him in the finals, if they get to the finals anyway. I'm loving this combo of the Drakal and the Shikiri. This is making me excited. We've not seen an Ajona yet either, so it's going to be completely different comp, because at the moment I'm not sure I really see Goon Squad coming back into this, unfortunately, and they're a quality team, but they're being picked apart by this Drakal and the Shikiri. And actually each individual is just doing so well on this team now, and that's not trying to take anything away from the Goon Squad whatsoever. They're doing a fantastic job in their own way. I think they've not had to deal with a Shikiri so far. Look at that dot on the arrow as well.
God, great work by Chin to get that vulnerability done. That's a level 1 perk that he recommended me take, because I have the same skin as him. I use the battle pass skin on Drakal that I got as an alpha tester. We get 2, one at the end of doing our own battle pass and one at the beginning, and I just love the way that skin works. And he just makes himself look so scary and get in there. But the level 1 ability, basically, if you use your quick melee, it applies vulnerability, so he can apply that at will as long as he can get in and get the V off, and he does, and that really cracked that fight open. It got Earl out of the way right away, and that's just so much damage output that you lose on your team when Earl dies, and it's so much health that Earl loses. The entire team, if you think about the pool of health that the entire team is, if you add all their health up.
Chintallion is just like, he's happy, he's on it.
Yeah,
he knows.
he's got the spirit fingers right there. I saw that. Yeah. Oh, and he spawns right behind JT. Oh no, he gets the V on him. If he hits him with the rope here, he did, but the blowback vents denied it right at the way. He has a choice there to either rope or do a slash that starts to heal himself. You saw him do it at the end of the fight that happened in Wetlands for the Hive. and he did good to do it because he almost survived against Arrow. But there might just quick cap this right now with Asa and Deny. Yeah, Asa's put out his cloud, has the quick interact, 7 seconds instead of 10 on the cap of the heart, and they 3-0 that one. Yeah, GG 2-0. Oh my God, he's hitting a dance right now. Look at this victory dance. There's some singing involved. If you keep singing, we might need to unmute here with the lean back. I don't know what you do when it comes to your casting, but that is
blinks out.
That is quite the match to be happy about, to be fair.
Fuck me.
The first thing his first thing he does is swear massively. Trying to keep it swearing out the cuss. No. I'm good. Like I think I'm not that bothered. Okay. Like he was like I like listening to the comms.
Oh my God. I mean, I'm still in the thing. I can screenshot it.
Yeah, he's very, very excited.
He's watching the cast now. But it's oh wow, good stuff. I'm glad that I'm just glad we're seeing this kind of composition. This is good. This is good stuff for Crucible, and this is actually not too bad. Not too bad at all of a good way of just showcasing the game as well and showing there are possible compositions which can come out into these different games. And we saw the actual level 6 there. I think that just popped over obviously as they won that game of course as well, but you can see the difference. They did come close in terms of getting kills and everything else, levels a little bit more as well, but really the big difference is again what we're talking about in terms of every single player on that team. You know, I think Exploits have paid, you know, it's so important and just consistent pressure, but Chintalian, Asa and Shakiri,
hidden consistency with Exploits for sure. Just because we don't have his point of view doesn't mean he's not impacting the match in a great way. In that very, very important fight there south of Wetlands that we saw, where they did good to get the Earl out of there, it was just such good synergy. Exploits picked off the second player there. And I think a big thing to focus on in terms of the mismatch there, when it comes to rosters and choice of hunters, I really do think that they need to adjust that summer. As I unmuted Arrow just now, I heard them discussing it. If you want to play summer, I muted so that we could focus on the commentary here. But it definitely seems like they're discussing ways to either make summer work or make an adjustment, because I really do think that they need to adjust that there. Summer, maybe meta if you've got some great players. I believe Poppy Eternal main summer, does he not? I'm not sure, but I think Seifer main summer as well, because I'm pretty sure Empiric is still a Rahi main, and I looked for some Rahi play between Poppy and Empiric. I forget one of them does summer mainly, and one of them he's not a summer main. Somebody called him a summer main on the dev hunt weekend, and one of my friends who watches a lot of different Crucible streams was like, "No, how could he call him a summer main? He does this." And I was like, "Oh, okay, okay, all right, relax." But if Seifer is as far as I know, he is a summer main, and so it's not just that whether or not he's good or bad at summer. I think that it's just Summer's viability is super situational. They have to use her as some kind of different comp from a dive comp, which is what Drakal is a huge part of. Earl can dive in with his shift and his E. I don't know if he took level 3 blowback vent upgrade. I think that that's the one to choose hands down for Earl. That's just my take, and I feel like I can speak on that with some authority as somebody who played a competitive Earl in a earlier tournament in Crucible before these wonderful ones. So people have been playing a lot of different people competitively. So it's called directional vents. It's available level 3. Increase movement speed while using blowback vents and increases duration from 2.5 to 3 seconds. It also increases the vertical gain, making Earl lift about twice as high. So you can use that to travel and go over land features here. Looks like Chin is going to look at some prof gameplay here, absorb what's going on with the Ajona. So yeah. That helps her call because I think Earl's totally viable as part of a dive comp. He can drop down into there with the shift and then move people around with the blowback fence. It is a bit of a desperation all-in kind of play, and if they start focusing Earl, they could get him out of there quickly. But it's all about how you make it work for yourself. You know what I mean?
Well, we are just waiting for. I'm not sure where we are with the nerf Earl versus Elegant. I'm gonna see if we can find Elegant. Let's see who we've got on that team. I've got some streams, I believe. We could just watch. Oh, I've got one. Flappy Penguin. Mr. Flappy Penguin. Let's see if that's one I can grab. Because, yeah, Prof stream is delayed still, and that's all good. I'm just trying to make sure I can grab Flappy Penguin if needed. Nope. Okay, I think they're waiting for this game to start, actually. Doesn't look like we've got anyone on that team who is around at the moment. Scrims, Rivals Cup 2. Oh, bloody hell. We've got like about 4 or 5 shotcasts at the moment and no one's streaming the game. Oh, blimey. Okay, we're all coming out now. So yeah, I think we're just going to be probably going to get about 5 or 6 prop streams coming out quite shortly, which is quite,
what a man.
Which is quite fun, which is all good. So I'm going to keep Italian stream looking up as well, so I can keep things going over there. But at the moment, it might look like we're going to be just heading into Prophet's stream, who is currently on a break. So there you go. Ta-da! I'm not sure where we are in their game. They might not even be streaming it, in all honesty. Might be keeping it secret, the composition and everything else. I don't know. Unless the bracket has been updated. Nope, but we've definitely got 2 Zoomers in the final, that's for sure. I'm gonna update that and we'll see who next is gonna be. Stream, how you doing? Yeah, we got 79 viewers, we're good. We're having a good time indeed. John Peters, hello, what's up, dude? How are we going, everyone? Oh. Oh, wait. Can someone go and ask him who their verse is? Actually, I'm going to ask him.
Oh.
Uh.
Alright.
Starting their series right now.
No, they're starting their next series, yeah, against Bloom's team.
Oh, wrong one.
2. Both. I'm gonna take knockback.
Just gonna ask them.
Oh my gosh, it is really gonna be a dive prof game, huh?
This is what they were running the other game.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So I'm finding out which series we're on.
I'm not holding that. Scanning platform.
Oh,
Should know that.
oh great. Yeah, that's Stormy's 20-minute fucking.
You're not wrong.
Okay, we're gonna go and watch this. This is the first game of the semi-final. Okay, we've got nothing else to go off of here, but this is gonna be.
The mirroring because now
there-
Chin's watching us over on the Jebro Unity stream.
There you go. We're going to be watching Prof's point of view. This is the first game of Nerf L versus Elegant. So we're literally going to be casting off of one screen. And that's going to, I guess that kind of makes it a little bit easier, to be honest.
Chin's residential sleeping in his chair. Yeah, we're getting out of here, Chin. Good work on your call, buddy. I had to explain Zoomers versus Boomers to Jebro, so you forced that with the team. Or we'll internet Zoomers versus Boomers. This is different, right? We're still wanting to feel super relevant and stuff like that. All right.
Okay. Right, so now we've got on the other side of things, so we do have Elegant versus the winners of last week. That's going to be SS Nerf Earl. We're going to be seeing whether or not who indeed is going to join the 2 Zoomers with Boomers in the final. We've only got Prof's point of view because I don't believe we have a point of view for the other enemy team at the moment. So you're just going to be watching this one point of view. Go and follow all these guys today. Chintalian is in the chat right now. Click his name. Do me a follow. Go check him. Do me a follow. Do me a favor and follow that man right there. Go and follow Prof as well. He's kind of streaming anyone else in chat. If you want to just mention if he streams some Crucible, that'd be very, very awesome. Cynic, I believe, was doing the EU tournament just now, so make sure you go and follow him, check him out. Maybe check out the EU tournament next week. We mainly cover NA here. But yeah, otherwise, this is the first Jonah gameplay we're seeing today, point of view as well. And was a major compared to last week, obviously. And this is what I feel like the ASA is going to be advantageous for if they get to the final. Of course, we don't know what the case will be. Elegant has 4 players. That is going to be Flappy Penguin, Casanova, Cracks, and Bloom. I've not seen these guys play that much. I think I've seen Flappy Penguin a bit. Do you know anything about these guys on the opposite team, dude? That's all.
Can you read me off their names? Let me take a look, actually.
It was Bloom, Cracks, Casanova, and Flappy Penguin.
I've seen Bloom. And yeah. I think that's handsome man. I just don't know anything about necessarily their gameplay. Is Bloom on Tosca? If so, then I know a little bit, but that's about it in terms of my experience with that squad.
I have no idea.
What I can speak on right now is that I'm seeing a different skill tree by Prof Typically, he used to take expanded quiver at level 1 for Jonah. He used to have 12 rounds inside the harpoon gun instead of 10. But that means he's either taken tidal reach, which means his grappling hook max range is reduced, but now has 2 charges and its cooldown is increased to 12 seconds. But because I don't see a little 2 on his left shift, I'm starting to think that he's done Seize Bounty. But let's see. We'll see him do that. Yep. And we still have the 10-second cooldown. So he only has 1 at a time right now, which means that he's taken Seize Bounty at level 1, which is Squid Mine deployment speed range doubles, and the maximum Squid Mines that can be active increases from 3 to 4. But I don't see that either. So maybe he just does have the second left shift. This is confusing to me to not be able to see that. Because he's got the 0 out of 3 on the Squid Mine deployment. I really only see Prof throw that down when he's super going to be somewhere for a while. He's hyper mobile, does a lot of good damage. He's got the bright orange, almost an ego move right now, skin for Jonah. Like, you can see me. I'm not trying to blend. Me, when I'm trying to play competitively, I'm super sweaty with mines. I try and get the green skins that blend in with the foliage.
I don't know, man. He's kind of blended here.
There's some oranges in the map beyond just the greens.
Yellow is the Crucible color for sure. Definitely around this area. But I think, I mean, he's just trying to flash as well. It's good. That's what Crucible's about. So anyway, let's go and have a look. Where are we going, Prof? Let's go over. He's looking like he's going to try and get involved in this fight. You want to, as a Jonah as well, and trying to explain the very, very basics as well to players, as obviously people are still looking at the game. So if you do want to check out Crucible as well, there's command in chat that's going to be popped up. Look at the Jonah just going. Prof
the accuracy, 8 out of 10 shots on that clip. He plays a game that I play as well to try and improve my aim called Kovacs FPS Aim Trainer. It's now on Steam called the Kovacs 2.0 The Meta if you're interested in that as well. Not free like Crucible is, so definitely download the game, folks. But what we can learn from Prof right now is just his impeccable movement, not just the accuracy there. See, he does pop him right at the end. There's a certain bounce to the Jonah shots that he is able to ride, which is also important for maintaining damage output as a Jonah. But what I really want to highlight in terms of something someone can learn from Prof's gameplay here that's not just have good aim forehead, is his movement. Right here, you can see it with the swing. He just does a great job of not only swinging up and to the left or to the right off of high walls on the map, but his ability to move straight forward has always been great and something worth learning as a Jonah, because not everybody understands well how to move directly forward as a Jonah by grappling in front, because it's a bit counterintuitive. You look, you're like, oh, just grapple the ground in front. Aren't I just going to pull myself off early into like an easy to hit point or just not move very far? But he does well to let go of it early. He did take a wasp hit there, but just winning that fight in river means the other team was zoned off completely. They get this first heart for free, essentially.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, they pushed that team too so far away. It's just solo in there. It's all good. And now we're just going to see it. I think he's very chilled. Doesn't look phased much at all at the moment. It's a shame we can't get another point of view for this, unfortunately. I'm not seeing a bug here. I thought I was going to see a bug. They didn't go with a bug, but that's fine. But we've got Stormy on the Tosca. We've got Kalo as well, who was playing on Summer last week, and we got Wakey, who's still on the Earl as well. So maybe we'll see what happens, because maybe they will change their
trade here. We did see Stormy on Prof's team on Tosca trade with their Sazan getting the initial kill, and then the dot from Tosca taking him out. So it's still 3v3, which I think favors Prof team as long as Prof is kept alive. And Kalo, really the IGL, the in-game leader for his team. Great calls, great in-depth knowledge of the game, a lot of YouTube content being produced by him at this time to kind of help explain, especially to new players, how the game works and what you should be doing, especially in the heart of the hive specifically. So I'm always going to be confident in his ability to shape the team. But Earl's a bit caught out here, and so is the Tosca just off respawn, 3-on-2 until Prof gets in here to start applying damage from behind. But can he be effective right now? They are focusing him away. This turret is damaging him as well. He's put down to 600. I don't think they're going to kill Prof, but they're going to be able to just get the Tosca off the map again quickly, because they kept Prof out of the fight and then continued to do the damage on the person they were originally doing damage on before it did. They're sending Sazan here to keep Prof
That's zoned. Important. That needs to happen a lot more. Like, if this is what all teams need to do with the Ajona, they need to put someone on that Ajona so they're just running. Even it doesn't even matter if they kill them, because this is something that's going to be so. This is what swings a lot of the fights for these guys as well. You know, it's just he's finishing a lot of these kills. Like, we'll see at the end of the game,
and punishing the chase down here on a Jonah.
Exactly,
not on Jonah, on Sazan rather.
And they come back. Kalo actually did come back to kind of just relieve, I guess, the Jonah as well. But the thing is that even though when he's running away, you've still got those players who are able to offer their own poke, you know, like Stormy, who's on the Tosca, who can be very aggressive themselves. So it can kind of almost, you know, negate the poke that's coming out from Cezanne there by doing the same on the enemy team. But we'll see, you know, how that works out. I know Prof is very much still alive and still in the game, but wasn't able to be fully effective there, unfortunately. But that's good. That's a good job. That's really good to see that coming out from the enemy team, from Elegant. Sure.
I think the Wiki's just behind because I can tell from the bottom left now that I look at it in terms of a Jonah skill tree, he's still doing what I've known him to do, which is take an expanded quiver, which I think just boosts it from 8 to 10 right now. So I think a Jonah's magazine size has been reduced, unless it's just a graphical glitch and it's showing us 10. And he really has 12, but I've only really been seeing 10 shots until he has to reload. So he's still gotten extra shots. And I think especially if they've nerfed a Jonah's magazine size from 12 to 10 or from 10 to 8 at base level, it's super crucial to grab that expanded quiver. To have those 10 shots instead of 8 has been shown to be effective in this match, even because we've seen him get a kill in the last 2 shots before somebody gets away. So he's in here almost frontlining as a Jonah, smartly moving away here. Just great damage, and as we've said, a lot to learn about Jonah from Prof's movement. He uses his left shift, his grappling hook, into his Q, which spawns a stealth bubble that makes it hard to target or see him, and highlight that health bar. But what not everybody understands is that there's a downward stabbing motion with the harpoon when he activates that actually pushes him upwards. So he chains it right after the grappling hook for extra distance. And you'll see him do it all the time. He might even do it here with the swing.
And even to get just a little jump onto ledges they might not be able to make. Yeah. It's important. You have to make sure, like, using that even to change a little. No, you can't change them like massive amount of direction, but it is pretty useful. Seeing what they're gonna do here. Nice little zone off there with the dust and just the Jonah. As soon as that goes, there you go. There's Prof, and they hit level 5. I don't believe we've only got level 3, I believe, on the opposite team right now, and they've got the Siphon as well, so they're gaining extra essence. Just goes around the corner and Prof switches direction. There goes the Earl, there goes the Tosk on the right hand side. Still pushed on the left by the Summer as well, by Kalo, who's able to get out pretty easily. There goes the Drakal coming in for the interrupt
zone with the Earl. Yeah,
he
tried to get the stun and he zoned him off. That's exactly what I've been talking about, the Earl. But they get the heart. And then Prof is going to start cleaning up here on damage. Can't let this Jonah just be doing this for too much. I see the Mendo trying to put damage, and then Kalo trades. And there it is, the backstab from the Summer. Great work.
There we go. That's it.
But he does get away yet again. He can't keep getting away with it, folks. He's got 180 health.
He's out. He's out at the very like I said. Like, I mean, he's dead. He's not dead yet, but at least he's out. At the very least, that's what you've got to do. You've got to push him away because he's got such great escape capabilities. So. Like, he's still got to get out. He's got to heal. He's got to be careful because he could go down. And at least for a moment in time, they can respawn. They can come back. Cezanne's still on Prof as well. Really good. Good 1v1. Maybe even
close in fight, shotgun. But Prof's hitting the shots. The dot not taking effect fast enough here. Cezanne smart to dip away right now. Let that dot hit. We're about to see here Cezanne getting the shotgun blast very low, and Prof grabs it but dies to the dot.
4 HP,
excellent duel right there.
Really good. That was very good from the Cezanne as well, from both players. And actually they lose Wakey as well. Oh, this is different. We've not seen some of these elegant members. I'm liking this right now. Really good job from Cezanne. And as soon as, you know, it's almost, when we started talking about it, it's almost like they changed things up, and that's so important, keeping that Cezanne. And maybe, and it was the Summer as well. You mentioned coming in from, was it the Summer from behind? No, it was someone else. Not the Summer, sorry. They've not. Oh no, they do. It was Bloom. It was Bloom from behind. Yeah, he came in as well. So that was the initial push, and then the Cezanne kind of pushed on the opposite side. And Prof had some issues there, you know, but he did get the kill, and it was just literally the dot, making sure that, you know, getting that knife, which I believe they got a few times, but blimey, good job. They still get the heart though, which is the main thing here, but it's nice to see that there's some thought in dealing with Prof right now. Good job. Loving it.
Great scanning, great movement by them. I mean, they do die and they lose the fight, but at what cost? You know, it's like winning the battle and losing the war right now. It's 2-0. They're still controlling fights. Prof, before he died, you know, just help them win the heart fight. After that, if he dies, it's just not as impactful. It's good that they did it. It kind of helps prove to themselves, especially if they lose this match and have to go next. It proves to them that they can take Prof out, and it also helps them understand that that's a huge it's a huge part of winning against this team, because we were talking the other day and somebody asked him, they said, Prof, who's the weakest link on your team? And he said, honestly, I would say me, because if you kill me, or somebody said that, whether or not it was him or somebody else, and it's a very valid point. If they kill him, right, it puts the rest of the team at a massive disadvantage in terms of damage output. Kalo's great at staying alive as Summer, and we've seen it there as well. But you saw that they took out the Tosca and Earl almost at will lately. So without these other two players, it makes the rest of the team very susceptible.
Indeed, yeah. No, I mean it's all about Prof, and he's the one who's doing the burst. You know, I mean Tosca's got a lot of poke, got a lot of the damage over time. Obviously, you know, Earl's there as for them as a tank, kind of more as a tanky character. He's, you know, offering support as well. Can ramp up the damage pretty hard as well. I mean, there's definitely damage on the team, but like you say, you know, the burst is all from Prof.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the dot coming out from Summer as well, and the zone denial, and just the covering, and also a fair amount of support comes from Summer as well. There's the CC that comes out. There's just the area hot coming out with that swell is so important, especially, you know, around hives, around just supporting players so that don't get engaged on by melee characters, or even just, you know, Sazan with a shotgun, for example, or a knife. There is a lot of support on this team, and like you said, I think that's a good thing for Prof to, you know, admit, because it keeps him aware in himself and his team, you know, how much they need to make sure they protect him. And you do see that coming out last week, especially. Kalo is a big support for Prof, and you know, he can get away. He's pretty good at escaping, to be fair. You've witnessed that. But yeah, now we've got this third hive down. See if we can get this red team, Elegant, see if they can grab themselves a cat back.
Here we can see the, you know, Prof's effect on the team. He shows up at range, takes two different team enemies down to, you know, by a quarter of their health. Not a lot, but enough that they have to start moving. They have to start changing the way they're playing. We see the acetylene torch on the Summer happening, but there's a rope on a Prof. That's what they need to get done. He's full dotted, taken out of the fight early. 4-on-3 now for them, and that could be the huge change here. Cracked on Drakal doing something very, very good. Their Earl getting zoned out here by the Sazan, and the acetylene torch, as I said, on the Summer, taking them out as well. Kalo getting a kill onto Cracked, taking out that Drakal, super good, but still down 2v3. The team, they're trying to cap right now. I think Kalo's going to try and melee. Yep, there he goes, tries to deny. Could have left a tornado right now, but I think he's kind of high on heat and needs to be careful. Going to grab the cloak plant there, and maybe just dip out. This could be the first hive heart for the other team now.
This actually could be, yeah, indeed. I'm just going to see if I can, wonder if Wakey's going to stream up as well. Let's see if there's anyone else who's got another stream up. But yeah, this is very interesting in terms of because I feel like Prof, I'm not sure if they actually found Prof, or if he just kind of dropped down there, unfortunately, and just in an unfortunate situation. But yeah, I feel like that's exactly. And again, look, the Drakal is here though again.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe there is a lot of
he needs to get out
focus.
though, because Prof is going to punish with Earl as backup right there. But you can kind of see the way Prof plays a Jonah. It's a little risk. It's a little aggressive, confident, but I mean, that's part of what makes it different. He's willing to put in the damage. You could see that instead of immediately using his grappling hook to get out of there when he saw Drakal coming in, he put 3 to 4 shots in him, and even was willing to melee against a melee Drakal at least once before he gets out there. So that's some ballsy play right now. And I think that's part of what makes, you know, a good Ajona into a great Ajona sometimes, is being willing to do that. But it can be punished, and we did see it punished in that Canyon fight, and it had a good effect for a Team Elegant, because they managed to get another heart, or their first heart of the match. So it's 1-2, which is great, because at 2-0, the next heart would have been the win right there for Kalo and company.
Indeed. This is only the first game, I believe, of this series as well. So seeing whether or not I really wish I had another point of view as well of the opposite team. It's already quite difficult to just cast on just one point of views, just because you can't see the map and everything else. You can kind of see, you can see that essence running around. They've got it, and they have got, that means they can catch up and actually take over in terms of essence farm. Are they on 5 right now? I can't see the number.
I believe they are on 5. They're giving Earl the essence siphon. He's moving around with it.
That's good.
We got a medkit up in 2 minutes, and in 1 minute we have the interaction shield amp as well. So there's a lot to fight
All
over.
med
But
kits, yeah.
what's interesting is Kalo's team can afford to take those objectives if they
Indeed.
want. They could entirely focus them if they want because they're up 2-1
Oh,
on high
drops
parts.
it.
They don't have to focus the heart of the highs, but the other team does because if they don't, they're at risk of just losing 3-1 right now.
So they're picking
it's
it
a
up.
great pressure advantage.
His wrist, yeah, it is really is. I feel like they should have hidden that siphon a little bit more now, because now they're just dropping damage. So if you don't know what's going on, this siphon is basically siphons essence out of the world, and it gives you the experience. So it's like walking around with an experience pod on your back that just generates experience for your team, whatever way you want to say that. Look at this spot that Prof's found. What? Oh my good lord.
He finds cheeky little ledges. They were doing this 2 days ago on his stream. I actually watched all 4 of them step up and hang out on a ledge actually between here and crater, and they waited for a player to come down, and then they all 3 from the top ropes like some kind of wrestling WWE
right.
slammed
He's
down
hidden
on
there
somebody.
though. There's leaves
it's
there.
a
There's
great
leaves
move.
there as well.
That
What
was a very
the-
impressive map knowledge play, and that's what I was talking about when we talk about competitive Heart of the Hives. It was explored during the alpha stage of the game. A lot of players started becoming very good at competitive level Heart of the Hives, and you're going to see the difference right now between testers and new to the game players to a certain extent. But like I said, I really want the new players to start getting in here, and streaming this is actually going to be great for the competitive scene because people are going to be able to watch that back and know that that's a thing and be there for it now.
Very cheeky spot indeed. Yes, that was
Cheeky,
lovely. I've not
yeah,
seen that
absolutely.
yet, so that's actually some information for me. Yep, 5 kills. There you go. Got the most in the game. Well, most. He will mostly be getting the most kills in each game, indeed. So right now, here we go. Potentially the last game of this series. Then we're gonna have the final. And there is some potential. I did see Prof get a little bit more flustered in the game as it kind of went on, but he seems pretty chill. Seems pretty confident. He got stuck there. You don't think it was intentional? Really? I don't know. He seemed to be doing good there. Maybe he got stuck and took advantage of it. I don't know.
Chin and Prof information share and information snipe off each other all the time. So I'm willing to believe from Chin, but it's never, I can never guarantee that, one, it's not Chin trying to take that away from Prof, and 2, that Prof doesn't know that and use that. But it was super situational, definitely helped, and I think the game was already gone, so it wasn't terribly impactful, but in the individual situation there, it was. Tried to go over the wall, then got glitched into the plane. It only happens on other planes around the map. I see.
Chintellian, you should have said that, man. Now he can't claim it's just some epic move.
Yeah, come on now. Information about the
No,
essence
that's good
siphon,
to
by
know.
the way, because not everybody understood what we were seeing on the match, and so it's a device that can lease essence directly from the environment at a good rate, but all Alpha Hunters essence is granted at 400 per 10 seconds. So I was right to say it's 40 per tick. In Heart of the Hives, though, the rate is 75 per 10 seconds. So it's a lot lower than in what was Alpha Hunters or in Harvester Command. So it's not a lot, but it's constant. And that cannot be stressed enough, because otherwise you have to farm the animals around the map, the flora, the fauna, right? Or you have to instead be capturing Harvester Commands, which is its own time to ticking essence for your team, but it's much slower than having the siphon on your team.
Okie dokie. So we're just waiting for them to come back. Whoa, I think it seems to be getting into another game. I'm not too sure whether or not that was the
It's
first
not called
game.
Metamorphosis, it's called Evolution. For the rest of the match, all creatures are stronger and grant 50% more essence. So higher risk, higher reward on that one when you see the creatures on the map glowing orange.
Okay. Cool. Good stuff.
What I haven't seen is a biotic converter. I would love to see that as a major event on one of these maps. It's a permanent objective. Interacting with it drains max health and grants a high amount of essence. Stops when the hunter reaches 100 HP or breaks interact. So seeing whether or not somebody like an Earl on their team is willing to sacrifice some health to get the team tanked back up in terms of essence, I would love to see somebody
Probably be a Mendoza, to be
make
fair,
that play.
as well.
Yeah. Well,
with a
it
heal,
doesn't
with a
take from
turret
his
up,
shield,
I guess.
but yeah. Oh yeah, because he could just kind of use
just
medkits
stuff,
and get
yeah.
that done. Mhm.
Especially if he's roaming on his own and they're fighting elsewhere, the Mendoza can go up there and it won't cost much other than just risking dying, I suppose, if anyone else is there. So it's just being careful. Harvester Master Controls don't see, it can be massively impactful, but you just never see them really early in Hive. So I don't think Medkit Amplifier is actually one of the a big one to get
very
early.
common too. And so is regen amps, and I love a regen amp map or match in general, as I've said before. It is randomized, so you can see an entire best of 3 or best of 5 without a regen amp map. But I would say that that's not as fun of a best of 3 or best of 5 to watch, because the regen amps it just shapes the fight so much more than any other amplifier, especially if one team gets both of them, because just the health, or even both teams, because it's interesting to see what both teams will do with a constantly healing team in a fight.
Seeing if they're updating these scores yet. No, doesn't look like it. Oh, Elegant and Playsolid. That's interesting. I kind of wish we'd seen that game actually, because Elegant won versus Allegro, Jingle Buns, Believe, and Blue Jay. That's a big team to beat, you know. Damn. Kind of sad that I didn't pick that game up now actually. But that series was won by Elegant as well. So this is a surprising team I've not really seen much of, and it's good to get to know at least these players. So Elegant has, again, just to talk about their roster, Bloom, Cracked, Casanova, and Flappy Penguin. It does have a Twitch. I don't believe they're streaming. Let me see if I can see if they've actually got a stream up. Maybe it's just somewhere else. No, that's a shame. Maybe next time. But yeah, we're just waiting for these teams to come back, and then we'll get on with the rest of the tournament. Otherwise, I hope you're all good in the stream and you're having a good day. It's Sunday. Sunday is the day, which is good. And we're going to be seeing these tournaments every week for as long as we're able to do this and everything else. I don't know how... if you guys want to tell your friends about Crucible as well, I encourage you to get involved. It's free. If you know anyone that likes a PvP game, even if they just enjoy awesome gameplay, good graphics, you know, a good community, there's a good amount of people playing this game at the moment. You should definitely get them involved and get them to have a look at the game, you know. It's worth it. These guys all like it as well. A lot of people in our community play a lot of Crucible as well. If you do want to do that, the link's in the chat itself. Yeah, new players as well.
Yes, absolutely.
If you have
Love
questions,
to see new people playing the game.
We need any questions, like anyone has like any real just basic questions about Crucible. There's a lot of people in the chat. We're here, we can answer as well. And yes, there we go. You can see the both lineups there. Big difference in comps. We've seen a lot of Dracals today as well, dude.
Yeah, I think that he's super meta right now and super useful to any team that wants to both dive in and do damage and keep, honestly, a smaller and lesser kind of observed and appreciated aspect of Dracals, that he can keep your squishy backline protected as well.
Yeah.
He can zone off, he can kind of rope people away from people, or he can just punish by doing massive damage to anyone who's really going to commit to diving the backline right now. As you can see, we go 1-1-2-1-1 on cross a Jonah. So let's kind of pull that up right now. So he's going to gain 20 health per second while cloaked. So when he swings at level 3 into the Q, that's what he's going to be able to do for himself in terms of health maintenance, because we always see Prof trying to stay healthy, and getting him killed early and fast is key to countering this team right now. Grabbing that increased harpoon gun ammo from 8 to 10 right now. And then his last one is going to be critical multiplier increase by 20%. So from 2.5 to 3 times crit. And with a good aimer like Prof, who's going to be hitting those headshots, that's the right one to take. Because the other one is duration of Squid Mine slow increases to 5 seconds. So he's really only using the Squid Mines to kind of disincentivize anybody from running up on him too much. So the slow could be helpful, but like we talked about, this damage output from Prof is undeniable. So getting that extra headshot damage for him is good for him and his team.
Just confirming with John Peters about vulnerability there. Numbers are good to know sometimes, because off the top of your head you remember these things, and then you just reminded that okay, it isn't actually a number. So 20% vulnerability, okay, extra damage, good stuff. But yeah, like seriously, go for the questions. This is early game as well, so good time to ask these questions. for them to be answered. We do have devs in the stream. John Peters is one of them. I'm sure we have others lurking about as well, that you should definitely take advantage of this opportunity to ask the questions. How long does it take to the bug one last after you actually exit the purple goo? The bug one? Oh!
Bug has an invulnerability where he dumps the poop out, right?
The dust. Yeah. How long does it take to run off? Ooh.
I'll take a look at that for you.
Can't remember actually. I play Bug as my main character. I don't actually know. You have to get out of it pretty damn quick. That's all I know. Because normally most of the time when you're in it, you're dead. That vulnerability is ridiculous.
So it's available at level 4 and it applies a 20% vulnerability to enemies. Damages 10 damage every 4.5 seconds. Slow effect reduces enemy speed by 33%. Goo lifetime 5 meters. AoE radius 4 meters. So I'd say it's off after you exit pretty quickly though.
Yeah, it is pretty quick as far as I remember. But in most cases, yeah, you're gonna get wrecked by it. I'm wondering whether or not, I don't know if we're gonna even see a bug at this point in time, unfortunately. Look, they've actually already pinned down the Mendoza here over on this side of the map as well. Yeah, he's dead, unfortunately.
Halo on a great chase, yeah. This is all she wrote.
All he has to do there is distract for as long as possible so that elsewhere, maybe while they're 2v1ing, they can gain some access to farm or at least get some kind of advantage on the map. But look, we did see Stormy take out the Drakal here, cracked on the team of Elegant as well, unfortunately, on the other side of the map. So even though they're outnumbering, it didn't matter as they're able to pick up. And actually, they might get a third kill here. I can see Wakey up in the distance over towards B. On the northwest side of the map, sorry, that harvester over there. So they seem to be doing well. It's not just about the team play, also solo as well. And I was talking about earlier Kalo and how he was kind of in support of the general prof who you can see on your screen right now, and how he's sticking with him right now as well in these early stages of the map. Level 3 already, yes, indeed. That is pretty damn quick. I'm not sure what we need to see a red name here. So actually, I don't know. I think they're at 2. Well, I hope so. They're not coming back into this game at the moment. That is a ton of XP there. What is it? 600 base at least. 2 or 3 kills. They're going to be pretty buffed on the experience bar right now as well. Applied and then just do it. Yeah. Okay. I'm loving the questions. Keep them coming. John Peters is going to provide you with a ton of these answers. He works on the game. This is a good time. We're just seeing this NET team come together now as they just kind of stalk this first hive. You can see now Wakey. Oh, they're having a little bit of trouble. Even from so far away, Prophet is trying to get involved in that fight, which is kind of occurring. He is just distracting right now. They're going to go for a burn on this hive. They're just going to burn it right now and take it out. Just hitting those beaks. That's what those little kind of critical areas that you can hit on the hive are called, as John told us the other day. Here comes the Cezanne, gets that knife, I believe. There comes a little bit of a knockback to see if they can get the potential.
The melee by Prop right now.
Good lord.
Willing to get in. Earl's going down.
Oh, look at the summer! There goes oh no, he's not going to get that heal off surely. Oh, there goes Prof. Good lord.
Wow. Great swing in this fight right now. Super crucial. I was worried about the target switching of Cezanne. Needed to get back onto that Earl, but they just got full wiped right there. Except for Kalo, who's out there by, I think, Spaceport, coming down towards Research. No, headed out of Research down towards Wetlands and probably being chased right now. That's one heart, the first heart going to the other team. That's great work by them.
That was a different strat though as well. I think that's a different one for them. They thought, maybe I'll distract for long enough so that they can just go for a really quick hive kill and capture, but didn't work out in the end. They got the kill and they gave them the 4v3 advantage as they came down. So maybe not the correct strat for this NET team. Just gonna call it. What should I call them for short?
Nerf Earl?
Nerf Earl.
Nerf Earl.
NET, I keep saying. But yeah, no, I mean, really, really good from Elegant. It brings them back into the game in terms of XP as well. Because we've got them you know, 3 or 4 kills.
Yeah, and we don't need to call them NET because they're not Nerf Earl tonight this time around. They're the SS Earth Neural. Sorry, Earth Neural. They are the SS Nerf Earl today. They're a ship. They're trying to sail into the finals right now, but they're at risk of getting this series tied 1-1, which we'd love to see a competitive series outside of the grand finals right now. It's the last semifinals match, and Prof's team, probably a 1 seed right now in this tournament, expected to at least get the finals considering they won the last tournament. Kind of favored to win the overall thing right now, but we're seeing some great adjustment of team fight tactics right now by the other team, grabbing that full wipe in that river fight for the Hive heart right now. Kalo getting a good pick off the backside. This summer needs to be careful because they've been surrounded, this 2-2 split. But if the team can fully, you know, shift onto somebody, maybe they can get a pick and make sure that it's a 3-3 fight right now. They did try and back Kalo off and maybe dive on Kalo, but Kalo, good movement, gets out of there. These guys are still stuck in this area above Central, between Central and Crater, this long hill, and I think they're going to get completely wiped out if they're not careful right now. Drakal's going to die there, and Summer... Oh, no, Drakal gets the kill, and 2 kills from Bloom and Drakal right before Summer dies right now. They're going to try and section off this Sazan and get rid of him, but the Drakal coming in, threatening people, gonna have to get zoned off by the blowback vents of Earl right now. Big movement by the Drakal trying to get on top of things, helps the Sazan survive, but that was really great by them, grabbing 2 kills, and Drakal still staying alive, ducking, diving, and weaving.
And right now you can't feed
Prof
that.
trying to get this. Floppy and company trying to make sure.
Well, they're
Prof
coming in. Jones going to go down. Prof's going to go down if we can't get stealth out. Oh, he gets it off though. Does get that
stealth in the plants, throws down the squid mine. 83 health. Sazan and Drakal not letting that happen. They were fighting real hard for that medkit amp right there, and it looks like the other team is going to probably grab that.
They're going to grab it, indeed. They've got the health, the med pack, medkit amp, and they've got a couple of kills there, bringing their experience up a lot. Actually, could be ahead by now, to be fair. And how many provinces they got? Oh, Profs on no. I can see 2 each at the very least. I can't see the other harvester there. On the
if they're leaving
side.
research Earl the way he is in Spaceport, I would assume they have 3, so it's 3-2, which is good. And medkit amplifiers, right, increases everybody's medkit capacity by 1, so everybody should have 4 out of 4, because not only does it increase the capacity, it fills their medkit inventory immediately. That is actually a big
so you got none,
advantage.
You don't have to spend time going around the map trying to find these heals, and now that's what they want to do. And it doesn't just fill them up, it gives you a +1, so that's a lot, especially for Drakal, like in fights where he can take damage and he's gonna have that sustain. Like that gives him his extra sustain as well if he's just taking damage from like an Ajona or anything else, although as Ajona gets up higher level it doesn't matter as much.
Additionally, for Tosca especially, if they take Smuggler's Compartment at level 1, increase their starting medkits from 1 to 3, and the maximum capacity increase from 3 to 5. So imagine as a Tosca, you get 6 out of 6 medkits. You are so effective at that point. You're basic, as long as you can get away and use the blinks effectively. Here they are, getting Prof zoned out with the Drakal. They've adjusted so hard to what they need to do, and that's great. Although this Drakal is probably going to get knocked out here. So much damage. He's just YOLOing onto this Ajona too hard, and they're gonna get the melee off. They tried to maybe this was the sacrifice play to sneak another heart away, but being down 4-3 is not good. They did manage to get those 2 kills in the river and win that fight, so maybe they can turn it around. This is on being particularly effective, but they're using this Earl right now to good effect.
Yeah, Wakey did a great job. I mean, Wakey's like, you know, he watched him play Guild Wars 2 a lot. His supportive role, that's something he played a lot of in Guild Wars 2 as well, and it's really what I would have liked to have seen from Elegant there is that from them to push up with the Drakal in the end, because they had them on the back foot. You know, Ajona was low. They could have, while they were trying to support the Ajona, they could have just backed up the Drakal. There goes the Summer. They're going to get this second heart spawn of the game, and this is going to make it 1-1. Even with the med kit spawn and the amp they grabbed, that is going to be 1-1. So good job from the Nerf Earl team to just keep their composure here, and they're doing a pretty good job. They need to grab themselves maybe some heals to back themselves back up, but other than that, they're looking good. Wondering whether or not I didn't catch what XP we're about to hit 5 at the moment for Nerf Earl. Didn't actually look at the number on the team of Elegant, to be fair. I've seen some more herds coming up as well if they need to catch up on a little bit of farm, but this is a pretty pretty important part of the game. Obviously, we've got, wow, have we got even the Cezanne chasing Prof right now as well? I need to be really careful because they're all together. This would be a really bad time to, oh no! They're kind of stuck in between a couple of players. You can see the Cezanne and Mendoza on the other side as well. Planting that turret there to be a little bit more, to harass and maybe even just grab a heal. Oh no, they've just given away a heal as well. They're just trying to fight over this amp. It's the regen one, right?
It's important. Yeah, regen is very important. They've already got their own one onto Kalo and company right now. And if the other team doesn't get this one, it's going to be an extreme disadvantage. While they just pushed out to zone them back off, they needed to have one of these people consistently grabbing. You can see one in the back there. They did grab it. That's super crucial right now because it's one heart hive to one hive heart.
Look at Stormy. Stormy is so low, but there goes the Drakar. Drakar low as well. Who's going to die first? And we do see the Drakar go out. That was a kill from Wakey. Stormy is so low. They're pushing now with their summer back.
Pop the medkit though. They're all back and at half health and rising because of the regen amp. They have won the day on this immediate version of the fight. It's not a fight for a hive right now, but the next hive is going to be up soon. So respawns are going to affect the shape of team positioning real early. They do need to leave. They're trying to get out of canyons right now, but they're getting chased.
Yeah, they really could chase. Right, they could win. They could win this next half. They can get another 1 or 2 kills.
Earl boosting in here, and they did split. They ran another way. This could be a sacrifice play, either intentional or not. I think there's a big chance that Cezanne doesn't make it, but the rest of the players do. Cezanne just stuck in canyon, and I do think they will get rid of him. Summer putting that massive damage onto them, and the rest of them not even needing to medkit, right? The medkit amp definitely helping the other team, and getting their own regen amp means they'll be healing up too. But this whole fight, just by being one with 4 up, these people are not going to need to medkit. Maybe a little nip of the old medical station for somebody who's lower like Earl, but Earl can just keep spamming his Q, doesn't even need a medkit. And as we saw, Stormy getting really low, but Stormy could just pop the medkit as long as they don't chase her down. Tosca heals right back up, and we saw that happen. And then they get to continue to affect the fight with that massive dot. We're at level 5 right now, so everybody's going to be super impactive. I see that this time Prof is not going actually for the level 5 headshot damage. He's actually going for the squid mines this time, at least on my screen. So maybe it's not correct right now. It says 2 out of 3. Okay, so level 1 is what would have given him 4 squid mines. And I think this speaks to them trying to counter this dive a Jonah strat that the other team is employing, because the slow of the mines is going to be increased. But here they are throwing the stealth around Kalo on Summer, going to grab the hive. They burned it pretty quick, and they had the advantage, as we talked about, from winning that fight down in Canyon. Everybody probably respawned, but when you lose that fight, your respawns are actually limited. You don't get to choose wherever you want to be on the map. You can choose a good hemisphere, a big semicircle of spawns at the edge of the map, but they're typically going to be put as far away as possible from the hive as a punishment for losing the fight.
Yeah, I think they're looking at that as well, to be honest. It's just like, I think that it's still something I think they're looking at and thinking about, and players are giving some feedback on. So if you guys have any feedback, players, anyone wise, like you're going to help shape this game, and I think they would appreciate your feedback as well, as we look at pushing kind of Crucible together as the community, as well as the devs and everyone else involved. So if you have any feedback for these guys, this is a good time to give it as well. What do you enjoy about the game? Is there anything you feel could be looked at a little bit further? I don't mind that kind of chat as long as it's respectful and useful, rather than just insulting the game, of course. That's always something we like to do. We love to have the feedback. It's good. We're all here for the same reason. This community is it's a pretty bloody decent one so far as well. I'm really glad you guys could just come and chat and join us for this game. And at the moment, we're looking to see whether or not we can get this 3rd cap for the Nerf Earl team, and now we'll be heading into the finals. This team was seeded 1, and they're a little bit separated here, this Elegant team, actually. They can't really come together. That Summer's trying to drop in some damage so they can potentially just regroup here as well. Just push them away. I think this Summer on the Elegant team might be pushed a bit far. Oh, good lord! Look at the Prophet snipes there. Blimey.
Yeah, damage important. not only does he need to survive, but he needs to be in a position where he can keep making damage. Anti-Ajona is all about diving the Ajona or at least damaging her while she does damage.
Wow.
You got to start making it not a part of their team comp, because the damage output from Prof is going to be sizable and very, very effective right now, as you guys can see. Great work by him. And so, yes, he has taken duration of Squid Mine slow increases to 5 seconds. So if you rush him, and if he's got the Squid Mine set up, they're going to grab you and they're going to slow you for 5 seconds, which we all know what Prof can do in even 1 second, both the damage while you're slowed or just getting away off the grappling hook. So getting away and dealing with that regen amp right now.
That's the thing. Like when I first started playing this game and then I was the kit and stuff, you just don't think about it at that competitive higher level. You're just like, okay, these are mines. They don't really do much damage. And then you start looking at the kit and what it actually does and how, you know, advantageous those things are. And even just the bubble and how, you know, important that is, especially when you've got scanning and everything else. It's just like, all of this kit is so good. It's just making sure you use them at the right time and in the right circumstances as well. So it's like, I really like the
level
kits.
5 is so important and so much more like impactful on the rest of the game than any other level, especially when you consider the fact that the Squid Mine's base slow by 25% is only 2 seconds in duration at levels 1 through 4. And even at level 5, if you don't take the neurotoxic venom instead of strike to the head, which is what he took in match 1. So, you know, that's a huge increase from 2 seconds to 5 in terms of how slowed you are or how long you were slowed by these mines. So Ajona's getting out and surviving longer than usual, but they did get a few dives, and I think that they've been losing the fights now because they have not found a good way to kill Ajona now that the rest of Prof's team have taken care of him a bit better, and the regen amp is the thing.
Oh, a little bit of lag there.
Yeah.
All right, we're back. Okay. But yeah, no, they've got this spawn coming up now, and actually they've got a nice position. They do.
They're not going to get up on that large mound though. Yeah, the hives kind of shut it down, but that mound is not something they need to stand on because they'd be above them. But a Drakal is super happy to be below a ledge that you're on top of because he can rope you down. So staying up here on Crater is great for them. They've got the turret bunker right now for Mendo, but they're doing damage to it. It's at half health.
It's so open as well. That's the only thing that's giving him CC.
And disrupt this heal for Drakal right now, but he is at full health. But I do think that this is the one that
Kayla's gonna go for it. They have to get in.
Yeah,
they have to get in. Too much damage.
She's forcing this fight. She's just using it as a mechanic to make sure that they get out and start taking damage. They're staying pretty healthy because of the regen, but Prof's team hasn't really gone low either. It's important to notice. And this dot is incredibly large onto this Drakal. Summer's going for the dive here, which means Prof needs to look to move, but as they target switch, the Summer on the other team does, he realizes he can turn around and start damaging for free again at 400 health here. Mendo trying to help out, Summer taking out Ajona, but they just put too much. They went all in on killing Prof, and the rest of the team is doing damage while he's dipping and diving and weaving, and they're just going to get out of here, and that is the game. 3-1 for Prof's team.
Good job.
Great work on the initial fights to get a heart off of this championship team. And throughout the beginning half of this match, take Prof out, but they do fall 3-1 here. Experience wins the day. Almost over 10k damage on all of the players. 9k damage on the other team for 3 players as well. But just that 13k on Weihi and Kalo getting the 8k compared to the Drakal's 4k on the other team just shows, as we were trying to talk about it, like Drakal just auto wins over Summer in terms of a comp choice, but Kalo really showing us that you can instead choose a Summer and have a great effect on the game there.
Good stuff. And that is going to be the end of that game. Now we're in the final, peeps. And that, again, just to remark, was, I believe, that is actually the second time they've had in 2 weeks a bye, I think. Oh, no, they won their first series. Okay, they did play versus Team Clueless. Team Clueless went into the quarterfinal. Okay, so we actually had 9 teams this week. Cool.
Yeah, we had 16 slots. It looks like 9 teams signed up. So they've expanded it from 8, which is great because I think teams are going to start filling in, and hopefully they do after seeing how fun this is on week number 2. So we've already increased from 8 teams to 9, and we would love to see more and more teams start become a part of the scene, because Crucible is open, inviting, and in my experience, overall friendly. I mean, there's a lot of competitive esports titles out there and just games in general on Twitch, and they have a good deal of a toxic reputation. But I've 95%, if not 98 or even higher, almost everybody's been amazing that I've witnessed and encountered. And that's really what I think sets Crucible apart. And all the Twitch streamers seem to really get along and love each other and be happy to support each other and come by each other's streams and say hi and follow up and raid each other. So it's great. Like even when Aero Games, when he lost his tournament there to, I believe, the 2 Zoomers team, he went and raided another Crucible streamer. So just I love seeing the love out there, the supportive stuff.
Good stuff. So we're gonna have the Zoomers. Very good point. And that's what it makes it for me as well. I will agree with you on that for sure. 3 more teams could have joined today. Oh yeah, it's Father's Day as well. That's actually very true. I forgot about that. So there are some people out there who maybe, you know, had some plans with their fathers, or they are fathers, and they've had to do that stuff as well. So yeah, that's really actually a very good point. Good stuff. Now we're just waiting to see whether or not we're going to get these guys into a game anytime soon. We've got some Italian action. We're going to have Prof again already. Oh, there you go. This is my thing I wanted to do on Father's Day. Amazing. Hey, you watched it for kids? Oh, that's cool. Awesome, dude. Epic. That's good times. Hope you're good, dude. You having a good Father's Day yourself? Anyone else that's the dad out there? Your legends? Okay, who else we got? I'm seeing like some streams saying like scrims. Some people are scrimming out there. So this is actually really good. We've got currently 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 different shoutcasts commentating streams for this one tournament. That's madness. It's good stuff. I'm like glad to see people getting involved. I would like to see these guys playing as well, because there's a lot of good players doing that. We'll see them back next week maybe as well. Sure, I'm not sharing that. But yeah, how are you feeling about the tournament so far? Toaster, what's going on? Are you enjoying it?
Oh, I'm very excited. I was just managing some back end stuff here for a second. Sorry for the distraction. But
good.
yeah, no, I'm very, very much looking forward to casting this grand finals. I'm very happy to be able to showcase the game and be a part of this shoutcast with you as well, Jebro, and see your wonderful community and support that they lend to both you and the game. Honestly, it's very important, I think, to have as many Twitch partners that get good support from their community involved in the game itself, and just seeing other people happy to cast the game as well and stream their tournament experience is great, because especially if you have past broadcast turns on, right? As an affiliate or a partner, you'll be able to see them for quite a while, which means that other people can come back even after today and see what a tournament is like. And the fact that you see these tournament players stream the game during the week as well, so you can see what a competitive player is able to do in the game and show in the game, it just means that a lot of these skill gaps are going to close too. And that's what I want to see. I want to see everybody very, very close to each other, the same way you can look at it like a Counter-Strike tournament and feel like any of the 8 to 16 teams at any given tournament can win the day. Love to see some kind of comeback story as well. And I honestly, I just really, really want to see Zoomers just go hard and try and challenge this team, because it looks like we're dropping in here. I'm gonna.
This is different from last week as well. This was this was not the final. Actually, Zoomers lost to. Wait. Did I not even sell that well? Oh my good lord! Last week, it was. Oh no, that's right. 2 Zoomers were against Nerf all tonight in the semi-final in the bracket above, and Goon Squad, who was 2nd seed in this tournament, went out 2-2 Zoomers. So now we've got even the competition just between the 2nd seeds now as well. So now this is going to be interesting. I
expect this final to be very, very interesting. I'm looking forward to it greatly.
Good stuff. Okay, let's start off with Chintalian actually, because I want to. Because we see Prof for a good amount of time right now. But I'm gonna.
I feel like it's a bit behind what Chin is.
Chin, I saw Chin drop in. No, Chin's a bit behind because I saw him drop
not
in
too
while
bad.
Prof was already on the ground.
That's okay.
But such is life, and it's not that delayed. Early farming, this is something that a lot of experienced teams recognize and just take for granted in terms of their game knowledge, that a lot of newer teams and competitive players that are new to the game might not understand, is that it really is a bit farm over fight right off the rip, especially if you have a really good farming path and you kind of memorize where people will be default, like good stomper groups up here by Spaceport. You can get that quick level 2. Regardless of whether or not you're really focusing on the harvester capture. And you should have one person who knows these spawns well and has high damage output. So
I think everyone will as well, right?
Throw on it.
Everyone will know. Like, you know, those 2 spitters are going to be there. You know, the heal's going to be on top of the spaceport. You know, there's going to be one in the room. There's going to be one in the back where the platform is. It's knowing where those heals are as well and filling up on those early. As you do your farming path, because like a lot of these guys, that you know, there's the spitter that always pops up at the end of the ramp, metal ramp there. You know, these guys all pop up in exactly the same spots, and like, you know, where the herds can potentially come up if that's an event on the map. And like you know, like Toaster said, it's very important to know these different spawn places so you can get your farm, even if you're on your way to a harvester. And actually, what I was going to ask, and maybe ask the chat as well. Is this early kind of meta of how you manage the early game? You know, is it worth having someone? Wait! There's a bug. There's a bug in the game, and it's played by Kalo.
Oh, Kalo!
And Kalo's playing the bug.
This is something that Prof has talked to me about. He gets annoyed. He's like, Prof always wants to spam the bug, but I say no. So it looks like Kalo, you know, as what I would assume is the team captain, and at the very least the in-game caller for the team, the IGL as it's known, the in-game leader, has made the call that he's going to be Bug. All right, folks, we got Earl, Tosca, Bug, and a Jonah on the SS Nerf Earl aboard the ship. And of course, on the other end, on the Zoomers team, we've got the same setup that we've been seeing from them. We've got the Mendoza, the Drakal, the Tosca, and the Shakiri. And I really hope that there's a huge difference in the play styles of both teams, so we can start seeing what it means to see these 2 different comps come up. Asa's kind of getting caught out right now by Prof, but he's turning and fighting it. It is so
such a different comp now,
and I look forward to it.
So do I, my friend. Look at this. Look at Asa as well on Prophet, but Asa has to just disengage there. Then we've got the heal coming out onto a Jonah as well. You can see on the other side. Kalos versus the Drakal now.
Dropping down on their Tosca. Asa might not get out if he's not careful right now, and Prof swings back into action and makes sure that that's a win. Stormy onto Asa.
On the other side of things, this is what I was talking about Bug earlier. Drakal is one of the characters. It's Jonah and it's Drakal as well, who are the big pain in the asses for Bugs, and that is unfortunate. Wow. Oh my good lord. Oh, there's another Bug emote. That's actually awesome, but my Bug's better. Sorry. Cynic, I love you, man. I love it. It's okay. They're both good. It's just because it's Pride at the moment as well. That is going to be one. So we had Tosa was talking about the bottom right hand screen. I was looking at the left, and that's going to be interesting because a summer would not have gone down as easily there, I don't think. But I feel like Kalo just kind of got caught out there. This is going to be all about the higher fights, I feel like, right? And the invulnerability that's going to bring to those. I feel like I really wish I could see what upgrades he was taking, the Bug actually. I'm gonna be able to see that. Here we go. Here comes Chintalian. I feel like Prof is quite close to this. Oh, look at him. Whoa, he's getting burned down by the Tosca, by Stormy. Stormy's doing a wicked job. Look how aggressive it is. Look at that. Also that port. As I actually need to go into the screen as well, but Asa is being so super aggressive. Okay, here we go. We just saw the level 3 pop up for them as well. Did we see
getting good damage, warding off the Drakal there. Prof's doing well to do that, because as we saw in the semifinals, Chin so important and crucial to his team's success there by getting in when he's least expected, and even when he is expected, just managing to get in no matter what the circumstance and do massive damage and become a huge thorn in the side and in the front of a team's mental. if they can keep zoning them out by putting out this good damage, it's going to be really, really hard for this team comp to be effective. But like you talked about, Kalo's bug gonna get picked off here a lot. There's not a Jonah on the other team grabbing this goo plant in upper central to try and deny the retreat here. Mendoon choosing to drop down off the sprint right there. That's a pretty aggressive and forward moving kind of move. I see a lot of wasps on the way to them as well. They're gonna have to be careful here because that hive's in a bit of an awkward spot right in there in upper central.
Yeah, they've got players down below as well. The Draco is just got. Did he just get eaten by that? Might have actually. Yeah, he took a lot of damage, I think. Not sure if it's
he's
just
gonna get his
from the
med
hive.
kit off, but they are level 2, and they're probably not gonna get 3 unless they pick up this hive essence. Looking to damage. Asa tried to get a cheeky pull there. Not gonna happen. Probably should have thrown up the Shikiri bubble. Could have maybe gotten that Shikiri bubble right away if they had taken care of that. But I'm seeing good damage getting put out right now by Prof.
I mean, Prof is fine. He's got 4 heals as well, and Chintelian he doesn't have any heals right now. So if he commits, he needs to go all in. Actually, they've got the stealth plant. I love how they're hanging out with this stealth plant just in case. That's really good camping around that, just around that. And look at Wakey, he's just waiting. And then you've got the bug as well. They are really pushing for the support on the Ajona and just like guarding while Stormy is just getting in there and poking them hard, right? I love
and
this.
There's the grab. They're going to get away with
comp.
this. They did send in the Tosca and get the grab right there. I think that they kind of missed an opportunity to throw up the bubble and try and make the cheeky grab with Asa, because they then tried to distract with the Drakal flank off to the left, but then 2 teammates followed him. And it wasn't quite just a distraction play, it was a full flank that was committed. And then they're just like, okay, we're going to rotate around to the left, go for this upper ramp. Prof might just murder this man on the way out here. Shikiri not making it out, and they're chasing hard into research. He notices that Asa's here on the left, and if Asa doesn't use another blink, he's going to be down as well. And Prof might just get him.
Should be okay.
Went through the stealth plant, and Prof guessing that he's going to go upriver. Nope, didn't happen. There he is. He stood still. He knows what's happening there. Unfortunate.
No. I think he felt that maybe he didn't have the actual. Oh, look at Prof. I can't get him. He's just waiting for him to come out. He got one of the 2 kills that he pushed it down. HP wise, still trying to look to see if they can grab another one. Level 4 almost after getting a couple of kills there. Let's have a look at Chintelian. They've not hit level 3 yet. Unfortunately, this is a big boon to them at the moment. Grabbing those extra upgrades, the damage and the HP, they're going to grab themselves another ton of experience as well. 700 for that kill. They are level 2, so it doesn't give them, I was it 800 is the max, I think. 800 XP at is it level 3 or level 4 for a kill? I can't remember. It's between 600 and 800, I believe, depending on the level of the hunter that is killed. But I can't remember what level goes hand in hand with whatever experience you do get. But obviously, that's a big boost of experience, and that pushes them even further towards level 5. And that means that they will be able to snowball quite nicely into this next hive, giving them big advantage indeed.
The 4-3 level advantage right now is going to be very, very much a part of the next team fight that's going to happen here. We got 38 seconds on Prof screen for the hive. I can see Chin prioritizing instead, trying to back cap, grabbing themselves both Crater and Springs, while Asa's looking to take care of it. Asa on some massive damage here, dotted down to 0, medkits into it. Only 1 kit on Chin right now on Drakal. I'm used to seeing him be most effective when he has at least 2 during a fight, and both Asa's just so low for some reason. Stormy's low as well, probably going to use the med station because the fast to interact for Tosca's passive applies to both the med station and med kits and capturing objectives as well.
Now they are going to try and get this cheeky hive again, just attacking those beaks, making sure they get it bursting down as quickly as possible, because I always feel like people just want to get the hive down and then the fight can kind of begin. But then you go, they don't need to pop the vulnerability in here either. Actually just doing fine here. No real contestation on this. Even though they were kind of pushed, I would have thought that they would have just gone for some farming here rather than just kind of hovering around on the side while the hive's going down, because they've actually just fed them another kill. It's even further to level 5 here. Oof.
Yeah, and this Drakal's trying to move around and be a part of this fight, but it's a bit of a solo effort right now. Everyone else has been zoned off. He's trying to take something away with him and maybe grab the Tosca, and then he chose to space and maybe start
the beginning of his leave right there, but it was too little too late. He was definitely too low, and they took care of him. Enemy surrendered 2-0 when they're trying to just save the mental and say, GG, go next. This one's too far out.
Yeah, indeed. There could be an excuse. There could be potential to learn a little bit more, but how far they were in levels, maybe they felt that the surrender would better, like you say, kind of save the morale a bit and go into the game too. Remember, guys, if they win this game, Nerf Earl, they will win their second tournament in a row. And interesting to see the bug again. Seems to be working for them thus far. In a kind of similar capacity to Summer, I guess, in a way, because you can actually offer up a ton of support for your Jonah with Bug, of course, offering up a shield, as well as like there's denial through the vulnerability field, especially if you're a Jakal. It'll affect them even more because, you know, if the Jonah's doing damage. So there's just going to be more damage, a ton more damage onto the Jakal as well. It's going to be good. And also just the plants, right? I'm not even talking about the plants. I mean, Jesus, you have a Jakar wandering into a free plants. I'm wondering whether or not Kalo took the stun actually on Bug, where if you overwater the plants, you can get an AoE, you can get that stun coming out as well, which would be fantastic, especially if the enemy team are coming in to try and knock out that potential channel on the good old Hive heart itself. So, have to ask Kalo actually whether or not that's something he goes for. Can we disable surrenders for tournaments? So that's some feedback. Machine we can pass on.
Kind of a letdown, but you have to value the players who are actively playing within the tournament over what is best for the audience. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just decide, hey, like, it's boring for the audience if you guys can surrender, lock you into this demoralizing 3-0 loss. I do agree with Jebro, though. If I'm the team captain, I just need my players to have a stronger mental and withstand the storm of going 3-0, because I want to learn as much as possible throughout the rest of the match about what we can do to combat this team, because they're now down 1-0. They're on match point. It's right away. It's do or die now, as opposed to just it's still do or die if you lose 3-0 compared to the 2-0 surrender, but at least you have a little bit more knowledge. Knowledge is power.
It really is sometimes, yeah. I mean, Prof is just doing a crazy job now. I'm just, even with the Summer taken out, it's a lot of like ranged poke damage. You know, the right click obviously just blasting away, and just the I guess like the mobility. Bug's got a lot of mobility as well, but a little bit less than Summer. I guess in terms of Kali, similar. I don't know, like I'm loving seeing the Bug in the final. I'm just wondering whether it's making a massive difference. I mean, maybe if we get Kalo in here for the interview this week, if he's the one who's going to come in, can enlighten us a little bit more about Bug and his role within their team. Doesn't necessarily have to be the one we say it is or we believe it is, but that would be some great insight to get as well. If they win, that is, of course. I'm not assuming anything at this point. I've not been in for a while. Okay, nice to see you, dude. Thanks for joining. Everyone who's new to the channel as well, if you want to chuck a follow, we do this, gonna be doing NA on Sundays for as long as these tournaments are around, of course. EU, we had Cynikin who was doing it earlier, I believe. Skackle as well was doing it before. And yeah, various people hanging out. We do have potentially the last game of Heart of the Hive's NA Crucible today, with your finalists and winners, obviously, the winners from last week, who are NET, still Nerf Earl. They've just gone for the whole name. The SS Nerf Earl, with Toaster said Bug is helping them sail it to victory, or will Bug help them sail to victory? I'm about to find out whether or not that is the case. Damage amplifiers, metamorphosis. Oh, there you go. Medkit amplifiers, and some other bits and bobs, which I just missed, unfortunately.
It'll be revealed in the upper left, thankfully, and we know how to read that, so we'll be happy to see that going forward. But sacrificing the Bug this time, unfortunate, but I think they recognize that it was a weakness. Kalo got picked off on the Bug, and I think they just want to make sure they win 2-0, not let this team get a chance in here. Madness Diablo now flexing onto the Earl. So Earl Mendoza and Tosca Drakal might be the good move because Shakiri wasn't particularly impactful that last match, but I still think the Asa combo, Asa on Tosca capturing a Hive Heart is important. Trying to get this early kill onto Prof right now. We see both streamers' point of views because it's Drakal gets that vulnerability. Here we go. Can Prof escape through the? Oh no, it looks like he does. He's healing right in his face, rolling around. This is what I love about high level Jonas is they can just walk right into the corner.
He's back on him.
And he's back on him, but he's healing. There it is. Got support from the Tosca. Yeah, if Asa was in here, maybe they do pick off Prof guaranteed. That was ambitious, and I really do think it was the play for Chin. He just needed to not lose him in the stealth plant. That was great cloak plant activity from Prof right there, healing up immediately because he needs it. Does not have a med kit right now, throwing out some squid mines. One of them, it looked like tracked him because he went from 1 to 3 or it just timed out, trying to get some pings onto Asa to disincentivize him from sticking around. Back to the river with you, he says, and I think they're 4 capped right now. So not only are they winning the fight, but they're also winning the overall essence battle right now.
Yeah. Got themselves there. I don't think it's 3. I think the one in the top left is currently still white, but yeah, they do have the example. They do have the advantage in terms of the harvesters. Lots of XP coming in for the right now. I'm just gonna double check to see. Chintellian is still at level 1. They've hardly had
like
any
he was
fun.
chasing Prof up to spaceport, but now he's grabbed the Tosca. Not necessarily the best because he can blink away. Right here doesn't really affect the fight as much as grabbing the Earl, and he is having to heal. He has split the team into 2 northern players. He got the Tosca and Prof up by spaceport, and then the 2 left behind at research. But I think that the rest of Kalo's team is not going to choose to take this fight, and if they space away and just stop fighting, they can afford to do that. I saw another player during the Dev Hunt stream talk about how they thought that like it was stupid plays from the devs, just like prioritizing farm because he could just gank them. And I was like, you don't understand how hard it is to gank a team that doesn't want to fight, especially the dev team. They're really good at disengaging.
Or
gank
a team that's up on levels on you.
Yeah, as well. Yeah,
like if you're level 1 trying to gank a level 2, that's a fair bit of, that's a little bit of extra power there. That's that's extra damage from a summer. It's extra things, passive upgrades that you can grab, and HP and damage, and it's just like. Yeah, that becomes difficult. If you focus too much on that, you lose your farm, and the game can really start to barrel out of control early for you because you're trying to go for these. And especially if they do escape and you don't get that kill, then you've wasted the chance to farm. You haven't got that 600 XP early, and sometimes it's risky, like it's worth. And we were talking about the possibilities of doing that. And there is the possibility to do that, but you have to, the right comp. Is it 2 people you send in? Is it someone who's very mobile? Is it like who is it that goes and does that job? And yeah, it's worth thinking about. Maybe there are comps that could do that a little bit more. We'll have to see how things evolve, and obviously as the game changes, if the map changes, these are all things that are worth considering. So yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. We see the 3-2 advantage still for Prof's team right now, grabbing more and more essence off the map. They are both level 2, but they're a whole half level up on essence progress right now, which is a big risk, especially for somebody like a Drakal who needs their kit to be up and running as fast as possible. Damage amps on a 1 minute and 10-second timer right now. That is the next important factor, more important than this Hive. So it's going to be interesting to see which team decides to go for the Hive, which team decides to prioritize damage amps, or whether or not they both kind of tacitly agree we both fight for the Hive, and whoever wins gets the first damage amp.
Well, I mean, if Zoomers can get both amps, they could easily take this game. And I think even though they have to contest, right? Because I don't think the amp is not up for still another 30 seconds, but they're not actually around the Hive too much now. There was the Earl on the side of Nerf tonight, but now he's bailed out of that as well. And the Earl on the Zoomers team looking like he's got a little bit picked out here, unfortunately, and he's probably going to be taken down. There we go. It's almost 800 XP as well, taken from that team. That boosts some well, they're in level 3 now. We do have that spawn on the right side of the map. I would genuinely just ditch this. I mean, maybe they've got their respawn coming up, right? It looks like Prof is kind of camping this damage amp, but there's one on the far east of the map that's still coming up. I don't know if anyone's over there. I think the respawn will cover that for Zoomers, to be honest. If we see their Earl actually spawn over there, it's still up. Can't see the Earl at the moment. They haven't got eyes on him. Let's have a look at the other perspective, actually, because I'm only looking at one perspective apparently, which is not useful. They're still farming. They're actually going for the farm as well. That's what Chintalian's going. They're trying to catch up. This is a good idea. Are they trying to put someone maybe around that amp? But no one's near it. Still not got that amp. But there you go. L's getting it. L's getting it. So that's one apiece. Good job. Good stuff. You can grab that E harvester around research on the east side of the map as well. Okay, so this doesn't look too bad. You know, they gave up the harvest to the hive. Good choice, right? Get a little bit of safety, get a little bit of farm, come back into the game, grab the amps. Good plan. I like to think so anyway.
Did they get both damage amps right now? I'm having a hard
No.
time
There was
noticing.
there was one definitely for Zoomers, and I think he got the up. I'm pretty sure that Nerfal got the other one, so it's one apiece right now. I'm pretty sure, unless I missed that. 14% damage, 20%. Oh, they're up a level as well. Oh, here comes. Oh, looks like the Ajona, possibly. We have got a little bit of a delay, like I said. Hopefully I'm going to just pick up the right feed here so I can get a nice kill. But the Ajona again. Prophet gets out of that fight. Good job from him. Actually, Kalo is getting fairly wrecked here himself. Is he on heat? Oh, there you go. Oh, no. Both of them go down in the end. Unfortunate.
The trade. Chin doing good to get the trade, but at what cost? Grabbing himself both the Mendoza death, and I think that's 3 players out for them right now. No, they've got Earl and Tosca still up, but that's just not enough right now. They're up 1-0 in terms of hives. They did well to just kind of understand that they might lose that hive fight, but they cannot afford to lose both damage amps. So they grab themselves a damage amp, and so that future fights throughout the match can be a bit more on an even keel. But right now, Prof still allowed to just do all this damage without a lot of denial right now. Earl boosting into a fight, that's a little bit questionable because now he's denied himself options. You can see the little halo of healing underneath the ledge on Prof's stream right there. So he will heal up, but he is denying himself a lot of mobility for the next 20 to 25 seconds. He can still, of course, use blowback vents and it'll move him well, especially at level 3 if he took that perk. Unable to tell right now, but here is Chin going in on the Earl right now. He did get the quick melee vulnerability there. He's getting totally stun locked by these stompers right now. Good pick by them. Stomper actually gets the defeat credit for Wakey on that one. Interesting. And Prof is getting pushed away further and deeper into the wetlands.
Yeah, indeed. We've still got the 1-0 now. And Prof does not have a heal. He needs to grab himself one ASAP. He knows where to grab those. Probably around research. We've got not Asa, sorry. Stormy over here on the Tosca. I'm loving Stormy as well. Oh, here we go. El sees that Jonah is low. Gets a few hits off there himself. Oh, if he gets into open ground, I does get the stealth. There we go. Prof still getting as much healing as he possibly can. Bottom right hand corner of the screen. As we watch Gintelians, we're going to just switch over far. Oh my good lord,
no
the ult!
But they're ganking him. They're going for
Good
it. And
job.
there it is. Excellent work by the Earl combo with the Mendoza to take that out. I was questioning having both Mendo Earl, but it's starting to pay off right now.
We've got this up as well. We've got the hive up in the top right-hand corner as well. And they need to take this down. And he still needs to get over there and respawn. So here we go. They need to go for this. They need to go for the kill. They are going to go for it. And there's the Earl. Wakey just hanging around. Asa is on their side. He's just grabbing a heal as well. They need to get the kill. If they can get this, here goes Wakey. Drakar just taking him down indeed.
Wakey.
And vulnerability. Yep. There comes the summer and extra damage. No, the Drakar goes down. That was Kalo. Yep. No. Kalo doing such a good job.
Applying that acetylene torch, doing great damage. But of course, Asa guarantees this kill onto Earl right now. And then also great damage onto the enemy Earl, which means that the Zoomer Earl is down as well. This hive heart
can't help but feel like this is going to be the big turning factor. Either they're going to secure what feels like an inevitable win right now, or Zoomers are going to push their way back into the match. And this acetylene torch, this extra damage after 50% heat from Kalo cannot be ignored right now. They're doing great damage.
Yes, Asa was literally about to take out the Ajono, goes down in the end, but no one is contesting this second cap on the Hive. Really losing Chintalian there was really a big mistake from them. They were separated quite hard there actually. The team of Zoomers. There seemed to be a little lack of focus in their targets, to be honest. I mean, even though they had the advantage, I think that, you know, Nerfel just chilled. They hung out. They were composed a little bit more in that situation. And then the Jonah Prophet, who's on the bottom right hand corner of your screen, if you're watching right now, just came back, respawned, and could assist in that fight that had just been, you know, almost to a degree. They were 3v4 and they still were okay there. That was such an advantageous situation, which wasn't unfortunately capitalized on there. But that's that comp, you know, they're kind of survivable. You've got that Earl who is, you know, he can get in, he can get out of that fight if he needs to. You know, he's got the vents which help the projectiles coming in. You've got Stormy who can just dip in and out of the fights as well, dip in and out of the kind of Hive area and kind of deny and just do dot damage as well. And then you've got Kalo who can do pretty well at getting out himself. They can escape that at the very least. Just wait, hold it up, and wait for Prophet to come back and just come in from range. They don't know where he's coming from. Good job.
It's hard for them to get it on the Sejona right now. The Earl full send on the boost is very situational in terms of its effectiveness. Exploit still doing good work as the Mendo, but just they're not able to get in the way they need to get in. The Shikiri bubble not able to trap anybody. I really would have loved to see if they just made the Mendo go Earl and then kept the Shikiri. You want to have a lot of players have a deep champion pool, as it's called in League of Legends, but this would be a hunter pool, if you will, in this tournament. And just, I mean, depth of experience is important too, right? Having Asa and Chin on their mains on Tosca, Drakal is super important, but it's just, they've been shutting down this Drakal a lot more than in any other matchup we've seen. We saw Chin kind of just be given free roam to just destroy right now, and Asa taken down to half already by Prof, who's now at half due to Dot if he doesn't get away and start healing. Asa can't tell if he's quite on him, but he's got the whole team. The cavalry's on its way. The more he delays, the more guaranteed Asa's fate is right now. He also shot with the shotgun that heal, which actually just saved him right now, but it's not going to save him for long. Asa's on him and making sure he dies right there, but he probably will die for this one. Great play by him though. Great play by him. They've actually backed off. I can see Prof's spawn map showing his teammates at Central right now. That's a huge pick for Asa. That North Passage is theirs. The crater positioning can be theirs if they go there to set up right now. I can see Kalo long flanking. You can see that Prof has chosen to spawn in Grotto or Cave, as some people like to call it. So they're going to still make a play to challenge this Hive. They haven't fully sacrificed the Hive to the other team, but this is a great opportunity for Zoomers to position. And of course, match point, match Hive heart right now. They have to get this one done. I think they turn and burn right now, and then just kind of turn and assess and see.
Prophet's here though as well. They're all back together pretty much. That's quite nice that you got to spawn there.
No, they're gonna burn the Hive right away, but the question is, do you go for the heart take? And I don't think you do, but they might just send Asa onto it. Here's Summer.
If they do that, they'll die and they'll lose this game. They need to
there it is. They grabbed it. They grabbed it right there.
Wow.
Good work by them.
Amazing work. Yeah, ballsy. But the thing is that was really Chintalian pushing out to make sure they didn't get anyone interrupting that as well. I did miss. I was watching actually the Prof point of view. Your stream got the better one probably. But yeah, no, it is definitely still winnable. It is, as long as your level is close. I mean, it's definitely still winnable, and when they can get, if they can get to 5 now, they need to get the hell out. They can't feed them.
They're getting wiped
kills
right now, and that's happening, and that's almost guaranteed at this point. This Earl is not going to get away. either. Would have loved to see him either blowback vents into shift or shift into blowback vents to make sure at the end of his run he's safe. But they make sure there are no survivors. Exploit's not hitting enough Mendo shots on the high ground there on that crater platform, to be frank. Need to get this Jonah either taken out or damaged so much that they stopped shooting at their team, and did not get that done because there was some great initial damage from, I believe, they don't have a summer, but it felt like a summer with how much damage the Earl was doing right over the top of that rock onto Prof. But, you know, they got the pick. Asa on the Jonah chase. They used him effectively, and they need to, because this Drakal chase is getting shut down so often right now. He gets in there, and he's got great movement. I saw him zoom in like a zoomer would do all the way around the crater a lot, and even chased off Kalo, but he target switched. He went back towards his team, and then Prof gets to start putting massive damage on the Mendoza, and it seems like it's all falling apart. Because I feel like if Drakal had just stayed on Kalo right there after the Hive was won, maybe they should have left because they were lower level. But if Drakal had just continued to try and steal and kill that Summer, maybe he gets the kill. But Summer's got great mobility that people don't give her enough credit for in terms of escaping.
And now, I've got some hope for these Zoomers though. Right now,
I really do, and I honestly, I mean, you know, you're not supposed to play favorites in commentary. I do want them to win to get to the third match. I do want to see a game 3 here. So hopefully we can see a very competitive next Hive, because like we talked about, maybe you can call it match heart. We're on that consistently for the rest of this map because they got up on 2 hearts. This team here, the SS Nerf Earl. Don't touch Earl, devs. John might still be in chat. Don't do it. I love Earl, and you know, he's very killable, okay? Maybe he needs a buff at this point, okay? Buff, bug,
yeah, don't say
buff
that.
Earl.
Then it's like just the opposite.
Listen. No. Caster's Curse coming through in game development too. You hate to see it. Down 3-2 in terms of Harvester control as well. Zoomer's up 3-2 on that regard, so that's good. But it's a full level 6 to level 5 fight right now, and Earl's just a little too high on that rock, gonna take some Jonah damage. Prof does skip out quite quickly though. Interesting. Evolution here, 50% more essence, more damage done by the creatures of the world though right now. Might
look at Drakal, look at Drakal. No, he's not gonna get that pull. There goes the E from Wakey. Gets a little heal. Look at the damage from Halo. He just sets him literally on fire. Look at the stun though. The vulnerability coming out onto the Summer. Really good shift out. He's not gonna get away, surely. Here comes Kalo. There's the vulnerability though. Invulnerability for a second.
Invulnerability, and Asa's gonna stop him. Sacrifice Slam. Probably should have gotten out and healed and thanked his lucky stars. Let his teammates.
He wouldn't have got the kill on the Summer. If he'd done that, they wouldn't have got the kill on the Summer, I don't think. And that's not too bad. You think the stun was that
crucial?
Yeah, well, true. Compared to the Drakar and his role, maybe, but at least.
Oh, they're chasing off Prof right now. The Earl and the Mendoza. He's going 1v2. He's trying real hard to get it done, and he does get burst out by the massive amount of projectile.
Kalo does
there.
Offer
Only
support.
Tosca left in the canyon, and he's going to get picked up too. Full wipe. And that means yet again, an early fight before the Hive spawns means that Zoomers are going to get preferential placement on this Hive in terms of positioning. Earl, earliest spawn in wetlands for the SS Nerf Earl, but they're going to be on the low ground in South Falls, and there's a lot of higher ledges that you can get. Chin already in on them, back to harassing off of his own respawn here in wetlands. I think that he needs to find a way to not be such a threat, because right now he's in a dangerous position. But I do see Asa on the front. Instead of just going and turning for the Hive advantage, they are just early ganking. They're cutting them off in wetlands. This is a great for
being
them
aggressive.
Right now.
Oh, look at the stun as well onto Summer. Are we going to see the vulnerability or not?
Earl on Earl violence though. Asa going almost down, and Earl getting the Earl. There we go. Asa going down to Prof. Earl getting a kill on one of their teammates though, so it looks like they do, losing an Earl, but they trade it for both for Asa. They only traded for one. Never mind. I thought the whole team was out. I thought Drakal was down. Their enemy Earl is going to go down. In terms of SS Earl's point of view, Exploit's getting out of there as well. That's a full wipe with 3 players up. They could just run to Hive right now and burn it. It's 100 meters away, and I think that's exactly what they're going to go do. Kalo out front, going to get that acetylene torch gun, just going to also throw down the spiral right there, willing to tank all this damage for the sake of winning the game. And that was the game win right there. I think that it was a bold move, and it might have won them the next heart if they had gotten that gank off, the cut off the spawns at wetlands, but the follow-up was not uniform. Not everybody was there. I think a 4th player was behind on that. And I think they honestly, the more mature play
probably was to just get that upper height advantage in terms of positioning on the high fight. Maybe don't start right away by trying to get them out of the box there and stop them from getting out of wetlands. But that being said, Prof is always a threat at long range. So if you just set up for the hive and then Prof shows up, you're at risk. So it's hard to say, but you know, from the third person perspective, hindsight being 2020 and all that, I think they had won that fight, and the last time they won the early fight before hive spawn, they won the heart. So I think they needed to just it wasn't broke, not fix it. You know, they went for a different strat there on that second one, and it did not pay dividends.
It did not, and that is going to be the end of the game. That is going to be the end of the tournament. Damn.
Yeah.
That's
GG.
it. GG indeed.
Yeah.
I went for about the same time last week. It's about 3.5 to 4 hours. Good stuff. Guys, I don't know if we're going to get Keller in actually.
Oh, we're trying to pull somebody in for a post-game interview?
Yeah, we did.
We can pull the Profsters.
I don't mind. I'm going to ask.
You want me to DM him? Or no, yeah, you go for it.
Yeah, it's just so I can add. Let's see. You can message him as well if you want.
Yeah, and we're Steam, or not Steam friends, but Discord friends, so I can just add him to this call if you want.
Okay, yeah.
Let's see, post-game interview, question mark. Wow.
GG's indeed. I hope you guys enjoyed stream as well. It's a little bit.
He says Kalo
rough
said he
stuff.
wants it. All right, so if you want to DM Kalo.
Okay, cool. Add him.
Okay, friended you to pull you in call. Please accept.
Oh, last week I could actually add him. Okay, wait a minute. Oh no, I sent the wrong person one. What's going on here?
Oh, well, hey, we're friends now too. That works for me.
Oh,
Yeah, I DM'd Kalo. He said POW, which yep, I have the remove friend option. Ready for me to send him on in here?
yeah. Grab him.
All right.
For some reason I can't do it.
Here he is. Create.
There we go.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Yo,
Hey, dude.
Yo, brother.
what's up, guys?
What happened with first question? Also, GG. Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you.
No, hold on. That's week 2. How does it feel like
It
to
is.
win the second week of the cup?
It feels good. It feels like teams are getting better. I'm seeing like a lot of improvement from a lot of the squads. It's exciting.
That's actually was pretty much my first question. Like, you do feel that people are getting so? What about that final? Was there a point where you guys felt quite pressured by like? What was were there issues for you in that last game specifically where you felt the Drakar was quite strong against maybe Prof, like trying to pick him out a little bit more, or?
Yeah, maybe it's not even like a character thing specifically. It's just like if we make a communication error or a call isn't followed quickly enough, then because teams are getting better, those things are getting punished more more often.
Okay, that's cool. I mean, it was God, I can't remember in that moment we saw. I think it was like the Drakar moment. There were some moments where he would pick out Prof specifically, but we would see you guys back off to support, and especially in the first game it was you and when you were on Bug, which I'll ask you about in a second, and then Wakey, and it was almost like you had this 2-player defense, and then Stormy was kind of operating as that poke as well.
Yep.
So there was like to make sure they wouldn't get the hive or make sure they wouldn't be able to push onto you guys. While was there that tactic to guard Prof a lot more in the first game compared to when you switched back to Summer, or was that just something that just kind of happened, I guess, in the game?
Well, it is easier on Bug, but it's also like Bug's pretty much only job in a competitive setting is to like protect the carries and just deny their melee characters space. In the second game, I think it was more of just like mistakes on our end than like a shift in gameplay.
Right. I'm watching Prof, who's now watching us. Again, I keep doing this. Yeah, no, I mean, it was there a reason to have a bug in that game? Was it just to try something else out, or to just try and deal with?
No, actually, no. It's a strat that we've been like prepping throughout the week, and I mean, I've been playing bug, since before launch even.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a fault of the blind pick that we have right now. I think we're going to be doing draft next week, but we knew that Menace Them's team really likes aggression and diving prof and Drakal specifically, and Bug just does really well into that, and so we surprised them with it in game 1.
And did you say that they're thinking about draft next week?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what I'm hoping for, at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
So possibly. Do you have any questions, Toaster?
What happened with the bug? You chose it, you won, and then you took it away.
Yeah, so basically the idea, we're sort of trying to metagame with the blind pick.
Right.
And so they picked Shakiri in the first game, and it seemed like their Shakiri was doing well throughout the tournament. And I've been seeing Menace play a lot of Earl, and so I was actually expecting them to take the Drakal away and to put him on Earl and to play more shooter comp to counter the bug. And so we took it away because bug doesn't do great into shooter comp. And even if they didn't drop the Drakal, which they didn't, Summer isn't like a bad pick into that. It's not like we're being countered by not picking the bug. So
yeah, that's what I was also wanting to touch on as well. Do you feel that the current meta really is either you choose Summer or you choose Drakal? And how do you think that matchup works for the average team? And how do you think that you managed to make sure that Summer stayed super viable in these grand finals?
Well, Summer's always going to be viable in her current state because she's way faster than every other character. But in general, I don't like running Drakal and Summer. I've seen some teams in the tournament do it to some like success even. I think if draft was a thing though, then that becomes much weaker because bug just denies both of those characters so much of their power. So yeah.
Go on.
Do you have any information? Well, one, I was more meaning like, how do you feel that because it seems like most teams either choose a Summer or a Drakal on a team where it's almost a mirrored matchup, except the only difference is a Drakal Summer. What do you think the important steps to take as a Summer are, and what the important steps to take as a Drakal are?
I see. So if you're the Summer team versus Drakal, then you have to be abusing your map pressure. You'll notice that like I think 100% of hives, before 100% of hive comes up, we have majority of the harvesters on the map, and that gives us the leeway to either stall the hives for other objectives or just to get levels or whatever we want, play our poke game. Whereas Drakal is sort of one-dimensional in that he has to play for picks to get consistent value. Defending with Drakal isn't as consistent.
What do you credit your team most with in terms of being able to deny Chin's Drakal any kind of picks, especially in that last game?
Well, we didn't deny him any picks, to be frank, but to deny him the picks that matter is, I think our communication is like really on point, and also I think I have to point out Wakey. Wakey is like the unsung hero. Like Earl, I still believe Earl's like a top tier character, but people are not playing the character like Wakey does. He's insane at Earl, and it's very subtle.
I said that because I casted him in Guild Wars 2, because I know about Wakey. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. I'm crediting. If you're watching this, Wakey, we're crediting you. Don't worry, it's okay. We know. I definitely know because I've been casting this boy for a long time. But yeah, he's support.
I'd say last.
It's crazy.
He's last important question.
Go on.
Do you have any information that you can share with us about the form the draft will take? Like how many picks happen at which time?
Oh, I have no idea. I don't have like insider info. I just want draft to happen, and I've been asking the admins or like poking them like, hey, we should do draft soon. We have tested draft in like scrims and such, and people like the mirror draft where you show one blind pick at a time. So both comps are being made because there's no bans, and obviously draft isn't going to be like, okay, we got Earl, so they can't have him. Both teams can have both characters.
Yeah,
it's
I don't
too
think
small of a roster.
Yeah, it's too small of a hunter pool to be doing bans at all. But you could, I guess, DM one by one what you guys are gonna for sure play each match.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that blind picking or that mirrored blind picking sort of thing is probably the way to go. There's also some argument to like doing like a standard draft where there's like first pick and then other team picks 2 and all that. But the last pick is so incredibly strong because all the characters can be taken. So we would do something where it's like first pick and then 2 picks and then 2 picks and then 1 pick. And then the last picks for both teams are blind. So the point is we need to experiment with it.
Yeah, that might be something to do kind of outside tournament. I don't know, maybe not. It'd be fun. Oh, you guys are jokers.
I still need. I keep saying one more. But what would you say was the most underutilized or most overlooked strat from the teams today that you think could be used in the competitive meta?
Stop one-tricking.
Yeah, I was talking about that with Jebro. I think I want to see a lot more expanded hunter pools for each person so that you can adjust team comps on the fly between different matches within a best of 3.
I think it's very early for a lot of players still. I think at the moment it's kind of, I think there's a lot to be. It's difficult. I think especially if you're an alpha and you had that time before, it's definitely been more time for some guys to pick up other characters. And I know some people haven't played all of the characters, so not to put everyone under the same umbrella. I think that'll start to come along. You'll see that start to develop. I mean, we've seen at least, saw Kalo switching over to that. I think we saw Wakey play something else last week. I can't remember what it was. But we've seen some people switch onto different characters. I would like to say, see, as you said, if there is just an obvious strength, someone just switching it up. We did see more Toscas this week. I'd like to see some Rahis. So, heck it. Get yourself into the tournament, mate. Right? So show some some professional Rahi plays. That would be sick.
He's got the golden Rahi now because he was one of the winners of the EU
so jealous
Dev Hunt. Yes, I was lucky enough to get an alpha bug though.
The next one, is that a promise? Is that a heck it promise right now? Get loads of people, like anyone who's confident on your characters, get involved. There's a ton of Mendoza. I'm seeing way too much of that young man. But yeah, no, I was happy to see a Shikiri today as well. That was pretty nice. the pride bugs in chat. There you go. It's a goddamn good emote. All right, I'm gonna tell you that for nothing. Kalo, thank you so much for the action as well, for you guys coming out as well today. Is there anything else you wanted to just say before you go, or mention or
some shouts outs maybe?
I don't know.
Yeah, well, shout out to my team. Obviously, we're killing it. I feel like I scold them a lot for small mistakes, but their play is incredible, and I'm happy to have them on a team. I guess the only other shout out I want to do this week is just to the dev team. I can't imagine like the stress and work hours that they're putting in right now to improve the game as quickly as possible. So shout out to Relentless. Appreciate what you guys are doing.
That's it, exactly. Yeah, they've got a lot to do, but I feel like they're on the right track and they're doing the things. And yeah, John Peters, man, he's like hardcore streaming and trying to inform people about the game on a very regular basis after work hours on the stream. And people do a lot of work, and that's not just stream. We appreciate everything you do, but keep doing it, keep talking to us, and we'll keep talking to you and doing the things we're doing. Appreciate it, man. Thank you, Kelly, for your words as well. I appreciate you coming on, just giving us a little bit of your insight into what's going on, including playing bugs today. Thank you, I appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
All good, dude. All right, well, we'll speak to you maybe next week. Good luck on that next
Have a good one.
All right, mate. Bye bye. Okay, Toaster, that's it from us. We're gonna be done. We're gonna be done, dude. Did you have fun today, my friend?
I had a great time, and I want to say a special thanks to you for the opportunity and the community for being so accepting.
I'm an aspiring commentator myself. I commentate for a couple online Rocket Leagues, and I've done a California State Cup for Apex Legends and Rocket League. So and I got to commentate NRG playing Rocket League and Team Dignitas playing Apex Legends. So I felt like that was a great opportunity IRL to be able to try and do the chops. But I had to solo cast that for like 8 hours one day. It was crazy. So to have a good duo and to kind of find what I feel like is a little bit of a home for commentating Crucible was great here. And I want to thank you for sharing your channel with me. That was awesome of you to do.
No worries at all. It was a pleasure to have you, sir. You did an excellent job. But yeah, that is going to be the end. That is going to be the end of this tournament. Make sure you go and follow Toaster as well. I don't know if you can spam the chat with your Twitch info or just say hello, but owning Toaster, there you go.
No, Reader's got that in there. I hate doing my own emotes in people's chats, but I'll throw in the owning love.
No, that's fine.
And then I'll immediately get some bugs back in there because it's the bug one. Wait, can I scroll through? I think the one thing Twitch could throw in there besides all these new layout updates is throw the channel that you're on's emotes at the top if you have a sub. Like I want to get to that menu first when I click the little emote menu. Otherwise I have to remember that this is the code, which I will because it's a beautiful bug emote. Oh, we're throwing it up there in the middle. Oh, wait. Is that Prof throwing a zoom in of your emote?
Many times.
Oh my God.
It's been there for quite a while.
Yeah, shouts out to everyone in the chat and C for there for being so nice always to me on Twitter and in Twitch chat in general. I also think that like a big shout out to the Crucible community. You guys are what helps keep it alive, especially the Twitch community. You help draw attention to the game, draw downloads, keep the visibility of the game alive, and I want to see many more weeks, an infinite amount of weeks with weekend tournaments. So not only is it important to support it by streaming it, I love to see multiple people casting the games. I think it's important to have the players streaming it as much as they're willing to and can. And even more important is all of you who choose to watch. And you guys make it all happen. Thank you so much.
Cool. Okay, guys, I'm going to be back. I'm going to have to take like 5 minutes. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'm going to come back. I'm going to play some bug because there's not been enough bug on your screen today. And hopefully I'm going to have some nice games on Crucible myself because I haven't played today. And then... yeah, we're going to end later on, but thank you again, Toaster.
Yep.
Appreciate
absolutely.
it, dude.
I'll see you around, man.
Thank you. And also, everyone else, gonna have a quick break and I'll be right back. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. Crucible Tournament Week 2. NA. You winners. Nerfl. Congrats. We'll see you next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye for now. See you next week. Don't Nerfl. Yeah. Next week. Okay. People, next week, same time, 11 a.m. Pacific. Go and enter the tournaments. Okay. See you soon. Bye-bye.